Sun love. Again? Seriously? Right. You know what? There's a fine basically. Alright. Well, hello. This is the GRcade Twitchcast. I don't know what's going on. I saw chat on the thing. I was like, oh, someone's already talking. It was Jenuall. What's scum? Anyway, it is time for some chattering about games. Wonderful games, that is. We're going to be basically talking about like a roundup of E3, kind of what we really liked and what we didn't like. And then hopefully we can talk about Mario Maker, because all five of us took part. And one of the person who was victorious, who won the competition, as well as the host of the competition, are both here. You know?
Hooray!
Yay! Anyway, today we're with Orange Rakoon.
Hello, hello.
Jenuall.
Hello.
Victor Mildew.
Good evening.
And lastly, Dark Rula.
Hey, hey.
And where would you like to start with the chat about E3? Would you like to start specifically with a company, or would you like to start with what we took away from you that we liked?
I think we should start with the Sony conference.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think it was the worst at show. They didn't really show enough games for me.
Yeah, not enough games for sure.
Yeah, it's quite upsetting really. After sometimes they show some good stuff, but this year it was a little lacking, just a little.
They were playing it safe, I think. Cagey.
Yeah,
A bit too safe, if you ask me.
yeah, you're safe.
Yeah.
Don't want to give away the secrets.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think Jeff Keighley during his Key 3 thing said, Sony's going to show more in a few weeks. I'm wondering if maybe there's an event in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, I hope so. It was definitely... It's more disappointing when E3's missing any of the big people. So, yeah, without Sony, it felt a bit lackluster.
Yeah, I was going to say that 2 weeks thing, that aligns with my sources. So, yeah, confirmed.
They just couldn't get a to or whatever to do a repeat of E3 2018.
Yeah, that's maybe the case. Which conferences have we all watched? I watched Nintendo, Microsoft. I think I watched Capcom's, which was, I'll just say, was fucking pointless. Devolver Digital I watched. And I watched the Jeff Key 3 event. I can't remember, it's called Summer Games thing.
Kickoff Live.
Yeah, Summer Game Fest, I think it was all called in the end. I don't know.
Yeah, Summer Game Fest's Kickoff Live event.
Yeah. So, did any of you watch Summer Game Fest Kickoff Live?
Yes, but I can't really remember much of what happened there.
No.
Was that the one that had Elden Ring?
I think
It
so.
ended with Elden Ring, yeah.
That's
And
the
I was
only
like,
thing.
oh yeah, who cares? Another Dark Souls.
More
What do you
jank
fucking
for
do?
pets.
I just don't. I've finished Dark Souls, the first one, and I just don't get the love for the series, personally.
That's alright. You're allowed your opinion.
I know, but it's like it's so janky. The combat feels sluggish to me. It just doesn't feel good most of the time. And yeah, everyone's like, the combat's amazing. There's no jank. And when you've had people on, like even GRcade, like Matt was told him showing clips of things happening, and they're like, nah, that wasn't hitting the wall or going through. It was like, because it was already in the motion, it counts. And I was thinking, I've seen people being hit through pillars. I've seen people get burnt by fire through fucking walls. And it's not just one wall, it's like a corner. So it's like two walls.
I've had some crackers happen to me. I've got video evidence of one that happened in Bloodborne, which you've probably seen me post many times. It was when I was in one of the Chalice dungeons, and I was going for ages and ages without having any sort of like lanterns and I got to a door, and these spider legs came through the door and just killed me instantly. It wasn't even. I was like, oh for fuck's sake! And also Dark Souls 2. You know when it says you're being invaded.
Yeah.
Because you know, like Dark Spirit Pedz is invading you. So great, okay. So I was right by a room, like a single room that was probably the size of like a little bedroom with one way in. So I went into that room, backed up against the wall, and thought, right, you fucker, I'm gonna watch where you are. And then while I was in that room, the thing he just backstabbed me. He just appeared behind me in a place he shouldn't have been able to get to.
Classic. I mean, the backstabs is definitely where you notice the bad netcode, right? It's just the online PvP just seems to be a game of who can get a lucky backstab from the other player lagging.
Pretty much.
I remember I was fighting Gwyn, and I was fighting him, and I moved back towards the foggy door. And then all of a sudden, one of the Black Knights I'd left behind, because I thought, I'm not going to kill him, I'm just going to run through. And I just got stabbed in the back from one. I was like, what? And so many stupid things like that happen. And the game is critically acclaimed. I don't get it. If there was any other game, people would be up in fucking arms about how janky they are. Fucking Life of Black Tiger is less janky. Well, yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but you know what I'm saying.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying. In all seriousness, Elden Ring was shown, yeah.
I like the look of Elden Ring. I mean, Dark Souls, I don't get people who try to deny the jank. I'm a big fan of the series, but yeah, there's clearly a lot of stuff in there that's bad. But it's good in spite of that. You don't need to sort of deny those things. But yeah, some
people do it for some reason. I don't get it.
Jank can be good. Like,
yeah,
we've all got our games that we enjoy because they're a bit janky, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Every game I play is perfection.
Sorry, Pedz, I forgot.
Connoisseur Pedz.
I'm a game connoisseur. Sorry, I'm saying that because my kids have been watching Pokemon recently. I think they were watching Diamond and Pearl or Black and White. One of the characters is a connoisseur. And he's a connoisseur of Pokemon, and he's a connoisseur of trains, and it's just annoying.
A connoisseur of Pokemon sounds like he's eating them, right?
Connoisseur of trains, does he eat trains? He does not. He's a fish connoisseur as well, which, to be fair, you could eat fish. To be fair, though, people do eat Slowpoke Tail.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be delicious.
Yeah, it's supposed to be delicious. It's delicious to eat, as well as it being not allowed to take the tails of a Slowpoke yet in Silver, I think it was. Gold and Silver. Not allowed to take like, you stopped Team Rocket from cutting the tails off Slowpoke, and yet in the Galar region, you're fucking cooking it yourself.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Times change. Times change.
Times do change.
Been illegal back then. Could now be considered a delicacy legally.
Yeah, but you would think that they wouldn't go backwards. To be fair, the real world has gone backwards in a lot of ways, but you wouldn't think the Pokemon world would. You'd think it would strive to be better.
The Galar region went out of the regional union and then dropped all the animal welfare laws, so now they can eat Slowpoke tails.
I mean, let's
see
face
that
it,
Pokemon? Eat it if you want to.
If Pokemon were real, there'd be a massive black market in selling and eating all of them.
To be fair, if Pokemon were real, I don't think many people would be alive, because as soon as they try and catch them, the Pokemon would probably just set them on fire. Electrocute them to death. You'd have to have a special kind of armor to go near one, like even some of them, you touch them and you die. According to the instructions, of the Pokedex. This Pokemon has so much poison in its butt that going near it will cause you to drop dead within seconds. That kind of thing. We kind of strayed way off topic here, haven't we?
Yeah, so Elden Ring.
Yeah. Poke Ring.
Talking about butts, let's get back to Elden Ring. Gareth,
I think it looked really good, Elden Ring. I think if you're a Dark Souls fan, if you like From Software games, let's face it, all their games have been the same thing for about 15 years now. Some variation of Dark Souls.
Yeah, when was Ninja Blade out? That's the best game that I've played. It's massive QTE fest, but it's so much fucking fun and it's over the top awesomeness.
That was a while ago, though, wasn't it?
360, yeah. So it's got to be like 100 years ago.
But yeah, you know what you're getting with them. It just looks like Dark Souls, but a bit more open, and they hinted at some these kind of interesting ideas with these sort of. They've expanded on summoning to sort of kind of have sort of like helper things that you can sort of bring in to do stuff, and there's a horse. Well, it's not a horse, but it's something you ride around on, so which implies it's maybe semi-open world, if not fully open world, which sounds interesting. So, I'm looking forward to it.
It's not a horse? I thought it was a horse.
I don't. I'm sure I read somewhere that it's not a horse. Like, it's not really. It's a cow or something like that. But I might be just. Maybe I'm making that up, but.
I'm sure it was a horse, and then it sprouted wings or something. So
That ain't no normal horse, then, is it?
It's a Pegasus. It's a type of horse.
Not a real one. Well, maybe it is. Maybe I'm sure I read. Maybe it was just some troll on Twitter saying, "Oh no, it's not a horse. It's a donkey."
It could be. I only watched the trailer once. I'm not a massive Dark Souls fan, as you know. I will admit, I enjoyed Dark Souls a lot more the third or fourth time I tried getting through it and finally did when I got this Zweihander and just killed everything easily most of the time. But yeah, to me it just looked like Dark Souls but more cinematic, I guess.
Yeah, so they're Marmite games, aren't they? Either you like them or you don't. And so for the people who like them, I think it looked good. For everyone else, you'll be like, no, I don't care. I'm one of the people who like them, so I'm interested.
That's fair enough. What about you guys, the other guys?
I'm very interested because I do really enjoy the games. The only thing I don't like about them is I find them because, well, if this follows suit of the other ones where you can't pause it, that becomes a problem in the time that you choose to play it. So you need to have a very uninterrupted session, you know, where like Postman Pat isn't going to turn up, or like your nan's not going to ring you in the middle of a boss fight with impeccable timing or something. Or
so that's a great thing about the Demon Souls remake, is that because it's got a photo mode, you can actually use the photo mode as a way of pausing the game.
I didn't think of that.
Also,
Presumably,
Sekiro has a pause.
What does that do about like online though? Can you still be invaded whilst you're in photo mode, or?
I have no idea.
Because
yeah, no idea. It does pause the game. That's the important thing. Yeah,
Pause
I don't know
the
what
game
happens if
from
you try
the
going in
AI.
photo mode. Probably just unpause it and get backstabbed.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. You're literally in the middle of doing your photos. Like, oh, look at this sexy photo. Then all of a sudden, you'll go back to normal mode and you'll be back by a bonfire.
I wonder if it takes like a sort of memory snapshot of what's in the memory at the time. So, you know, it freezes whatever's in the memory at the time. You can just sort of play with it to your heart's content. But to other people playing in your area, it's like you stood there in a menu or something. Maybe it does that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not beyond the will of man to code something that can cope with being online and interrupted. I mean, obviously with Dark Souls, it was a design decision.
It's not beyond the will of man; it's beyond the will of From Software.
From Software, yeah. But that's what they wanted to do, and yeah, that is a consideration for me as well in terms of they're not pausing it, because yeah. If it's going to be a more open game and it's going to be potentially bigger and longer and there's more cutscenes, and like, I'm a big advocate of you should be able to pause a game wherever you are, you know, however you like. You know, you should be able to pause in the middle of a cutscene. You should, you know, the user, the player should be able to pause whenever the hell they want, and the game should cope with it, because, you know, like you say, Postman Pat does turn up, interruptions do happen, and it's just one of those things. But yeah, I suspect this will be very similar to Dark Souls, and so it may not have that.
Like I said, Sekiro has a pause, but I don't know if you can be invaded in Sekiro. So maybe like this might not, you might not be able to get invaded. Who knows?
Possibly.
Though it looks exactly like Dark Souls to me. Like I'm looking at that and thinking, oh, it's like there's a different writer for this. Maybe it'll be a little different, and it just, to me, it looks just Dark Souls. But you get a horse. So they've basically merged Sekiro and Dark Souls by giving you a horse. Well, you don't get a horse in Sekiro. One of the people you kill has a horse. Sorry. Ignore me completely. At least I don't know if you get
just remember
horses.
Horses were involved.
There was a guy on a horse and he was a fucking nightmare to kill. But he's dead. Yeah. But yeah, what about Awar and Rula? What do you think on what was it called? Elden Ring?
Yeah, I can't get into the Souls games. I've tried, they're just not really for me. But my girlfriend's really in them, so I end up just watching her play through them. And yeah, that's a more enjoyable way of experiencing those games for me, because I don't have to play them. So that will be what ends up happening with Elden Ring. I'll just she'll get it for sure, and then I'll just watch random bits of it. Yeah, she's excited, so yeah, I think it's as you say. People who are fans are going to be excited, and people who aren't just don't care.
That's fair enough.
Speaking of which, my wife loved watching me play through Dark Souls on the PlayStation 5. Like, she insists, because she was there when I was I very first started, she said, "Oh, this looks good." I'd be crap at it, but I wanted to play it. So I played the entire thing with her watching, which is brilliant. It was like a shared experience. But you also had to, when you're really stressed in the middle of a fight or something, and you're just like, I need every fibre of my concentration. And she's trying to help. She's like, "Oh, you're low on health." I know. You're low on health. You're low on health. I know. I can't. She's like, and she's going, "Oh, you're low on health." It's like, stop telling me. I'm desperately trying to concentrate on not getting. I've got three frames to roll out of here before I'm dead. You're trying not to sort of. She's trying to help. But you go, just please be quiet, please.
Yeah, I like retroactively narrating. Just my girlfriend dies. I'm just like, died there.
Did you mean to do that?
A lot.
Yeah.
Why
did you do that?
You went wrong with it.
No, I could not cope with that. My wife's got absolutely no interest in watching me play games, which is great because I would lose it if someone was in the room, even if they weren't saying anything. I think that would be enough to put me off. The level of tension and kind of stress you get in those boss battles in Souls game, I couldn't cope with anyone just being there, let alone narrating the experience.
Well, I thought you were going to stream Bloodborne or to the GRcade channel.
Well, that's the thing. I'm considering it, Pedz, but it's one of those things where I would not. I don't think it would be a very good experience because I would just be sat there not saying anything. Every now and then swearing.
Jenuall, that's all people want from Dark Souls. You to suffer.
Yeah. But I'm too good at Bloodborne. I nailed it first time, so...
yeah, but you're not allowed to use the axe.
The spin to win axe.
Yeah. Which
Well,
isn't helping me in Bloodborne.
It's a no then, isn't it, obviously?
What did you know?
The rules that all the knobheads set out, like, you completed Dark Souls, did you? Yeah, oh yeah. But did you do it blindfolded and with like a car battery connected to your balls while you did it? Well, no. Well, you haven't done it then, have you?
Doesn't count unless you use the bongos from Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, you summoned, did you? Oh, well, you have to start again because you can't. You didn't really do it. I did it.
I did see one of those where someone had used the Ring Fit controller for doing it.
Really?
So, yeah, they looked quite, kind of punishing.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, exactly. But it's it's hard enough as it is. You don't need to artificially kind of
Ring Fit controller, Elden Ring. Come on. Right there.
Switch port confirmed.
Elden
Ring Fit.
Yeah, there you go. That's done. Get on to Ian Nintendo and see if he wants to do it.
I got an uncle who works for Nintendo. I'll give him a ring now. Give me a sec. Hello, Uncle. Were you talking about Elden Ring Fit? They've already thought of the idea. It's going ahead.
Lovely.
We spent like 20 minutes talking about one game that half of us don't care about, so I'm wondering if we should move on.
We'll move on when I say, bitch. No, seriously, we should move on.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, pretty much. What else was shown at the summer game? This is the thing. It's like it was only the other day that this stuff was on, and I can't remember half of it. My memory has gone so bad. I'm like 30 odd. I'm not as old as Ad. Sorry, Victor. So I shouldn't be losing my memory already.
Well, Jeff Goldblum was there to announce Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Yeah, Jurassic World Evolution 2. There's something that you were interested in, isn't there?
Yeah, I was never played the first one, but, theme park builder type game, I'm there. Even if I never played the first one.
I have the first one thanks to Epic Games. Naturally, because I got it on Epic Games, I haven't played it. But I can look at a JPEG of the cover. But it does look really good though.
Brilliant.
It's one
That's
of those
all anyone does with Epic Games.
Yeah, epic fail. It's one of those things where like it's a game that looks really good, and I never ever install it. It's one of those things I see like a little clip of it or a bit of footage or like a little picture somewhere. Just think, oh Christ, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much like the perfect game, isn't it? Like sort of theme park, but with Jurassic Park. Shall I play it? No. I'll replay the same game I've been playing for the last 10 years.
What game's that?
So I had
Never mind.
So I had Jurassic Park Builder on the Game Boy Advance, I think it was, and I remember that trying to play that so many times. It's probably because I was a stupid little kid, but it was just it was impossible, and I could never like even get a real like proper dinosaur in the park. I'd just get some tiny little dinosaurs, and then I'd run out of money, and then I'd restart the game, and that is my entire experience of these Jurassic Park theme park games. I assume they're probably better now and probably a bit easier than this hardcore Game Boy Advance game. But
I mean, with Frontier behind it, you know, it's going to be good.
Who's behind it, sorry?
Frontier Developments. They're the guys behind Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I'm watching the trailer. It actually looks really nice.
It does, yeah.
Good, doesn't it?
That's the Switch version as well, so can you imagine what it's like on the other platforms?
Is it?
No, I'm joking.
Switch Pro.
That's called Switch and Bait.
I don't think it wouldn't be that surprising. I don't think, slightly off topic, but I don't think Switch games look that bad in comparison to their sort of other versions. I mean, now that you know, the PlayStation 5 and all that here, it's going to be a bigger gulf. But it's not like the Wii versions of stuff on the PlayStation 3 and 360 were out, where they looked proper shit compared to those. And I think the Switch ones can kind of hold their own, just like with a bit of a performance hit rather than having to be totally different games.
I say you haven't played the Outer Worlds on Switch. My God. But...
Oh, well, actually, no. Saying that, I did see footage of it. Well, I think is Joe in the chat? I think I just saw a message pop up. I think it might have been either Joe bought it or somebody else bought it on the Switch, and then was saying this is a bit crap. And then I looked at the footage.
I have it on the Switch, and it's
they did
it's
improve
playable.
it, didn't they? But
yeah, there was but I'll say it's playable, but it is a very different looking game on the Switch to on the PS4. Like, it's not just the quality of the graphics. It's like they removed like most of the trees and most of the rocks. In the scenery.
It looked like magic carpet.
I thought they patched the game a lot to make it work, not for it to be so bad. Or was that planned?
They did patch it. They did patch it, and it did get better. But yeah, it's still noticeably worse.
I played it on PC via Game Pass. My character's name is Grum.
That was a game announced at E3 that I'm excited for. The sequel, Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah, the trailer was it's kind of a mixed bag because, you know, the kind of sarky kind of video is kind of a bit. Joe, actually, fuck it, I thought it was quite funny.
It rode the line well because you could easily do that kind of joke and be like, "Nah, this is shit." But I thought it worked quite well.
Yeah, it's risky, but yeah, I do think it just about landed.
Yeah,
I do wonder if they actually haven't got any gameplay footage to show, and that's why that trailer was the way it was, or if it was just a kind of, we'll put this in this trailer because this is a teaser trailer, and we'll show some gameplay not too far down the line.
It's hard to know. They can't. You wouldn't have thought they're that far along with it because they've got that. They're doing that. What's it like? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game at the moment as well, aren't they? What's
Grounded,
it called? Grounded, yeah. And also, aren't they the ones doing? Is it them doing Avowed?
I think it's Avowed.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't believe they could be, you know, close to release on kind of either of those two big RPG games. So I imagine they are quite early on in Outer Worlds 2. They've probably, you know, done a lot of work on it. But yeah, I like the idea of, you know, announcing something when it's not very far away. But I also like the idea of being honest and saying, right, okay, we're just going to give you tell you it's happening and give you some kind of flavor CG, but not pretend that we're kind of anywhere near done with it.
No, I get what you're saying. The thing is I was only wondering like how far on could they be because they finished Outer Worlds a while ago. Obviously, there's been DLC since, but full team could have moved over while a smaller team could have worked on the DLC. But, you know, you think they would have shown footage, though, to make people even more hyped for it if they was there.
I think it's just one of those, you know, let the people know it's happening kind of things, because it was one of those where it came out. I think Outer Worlds came out just before or just after they got pulled into Microsoft Game Studios, but it was one of those.
Before,
it was like, yeah. So it's like, well, you know, let's make it clear that, you know, this is a series that's carrying on, even if kind of we're not close to being done with it. But
it's just so carrying on, but only for
Microsoft
Xbox.
haven't cancelled it or something. Yeah, Xbox only.
Yeah, I might have to get an Xbox. I keep saying that every E3 for several years. So.
Well, the good thing is with the Xbox is if you did get an X or an S, the good thing is Game Pass. Like, you don't really need to buy games. You can just use Game Pass as long as you don't, like, if you play your games and finish them in a decent amount of time, you won't have a worry, because obviously some games do get removed. No Microsoft games, unless there's licensing issues or something, I think. But generally speaking, they don't come off. So you've got that. You same with PlayStation. You've been PlayStation now, but that's the good thing about having both consoles is you could use one for your main. Like, say you had the PlayStation and you prefer PlayStation exclusives, you could play them as well as your multi-format with your friends, and then you've got the Xbox for the Microsoft stuff if you haven't got a PC capable of doing it.
Plus, with the way the sort of xCloud stuff is going, you know, all they want you to do is be on Game Pass and play the games. They don't really care if you've got an Xbox at this point, and that's coming on leaps and bounds in terms of the experience with it. I've been playing quite a bit with xCloud. It's at the point now where if you've got a PlayStation, you don't need to worry about buying an Xbox. Just get the Game Pass Ultimate subscription and stream it online.
And with many games now being day one, like Worms Rumble released today into Game Pass day one, and plenty of other games are following suit, Game Pass does seem to be the best of the best place to be at the minute.
Yeah,
I was genuinely surprised that Worms Rumble is a paid title on any console. Somehow I had it in my head that it was going to be free to play because it's like a.
It's online only, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had that feel, didn't it?
So yeah, when because I think there was a trailer for that during one of was it in Nintendo's E3?
Yeah, Nintendo.
And then I looked at it. I was like, oh, it costs money. Oh well, I probably won't play that.
Paying money for things in 2021. What is this?
I mean, paying money for Worms.
Well, yeah,
I own Worms many times already.
Because it's definitely no single player content. No single player content.
What's no single player content?
I don't think there's no microtransactions either, so, you know, that could be easily why it's paid for experience.
Yeah. Not yet, Rula. No microtransactions yet. I'm sure they will happen.
You're talking about the Amico.
Oh.
Nope. Sorry, the door was knocking. I had to quickly go because everyone's in bed, so I had to rush off. So I missed a little conversation. So just pretend I heard you, and I'll just go, yes, very compelling thoughts, guys. I won't be editing this down. I'll be like it is.
If we ask your opinion, just say that would be an ecumenical matter.
Sorry, you can carry on now, guys.
I think we were just about done. We were talking about Worms Rumble, but I don't think there was much more to add.
Well, Worms Rumble have been out for a while, haven't they?
That's the thing I was just going to say. Hasn't it been out? Wasn't it last year?
Yeah.
Is it early access or something?
No. It was never in early access. It was out last year on PC and PS4.
It's on PlayStation
So I
Plus.
guess it was exclusive to PS4 for a time. And now they're releasing it on Switch and Xbox. But it did land into Game Pass.
Maybe that's why I thought it was free if it was on PS Plus. Maybe that's how that got in my head.
Yeah.
I don't think it's expensive, but I've never played it. I got into the like alpha or beta for it on PC,
the
and I always
beta.
planned on playing it, and I just never did, and I felt bad then because like you sign up for it, don't know? Like, oh, I've done one thing, I'll do this, and then sometimes just don't get around to it, and you're like, oh, great, because like one, you specifically gone out your way to do it, so you want to do it, and two, they might turn around afterwards and say, well, no, you didn't play the last one, so you're not having a key. Go away. They're gonna be like that with you, you know. Though then again, as beta testers, realistically, they should have either people doing it who are getting paid or offer people some kind of incentive other than nothing. I think that would be fair, because basically we just testing the games for free instead of them paying other testers. It's not fair.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure certain companies do that now. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of early access stuff or whatever.
I have no idea. To be honest with you, I have no idea.
Yeah, the draw of early access, even though you are testing a game, is that normally you're buying in early, you're getting it cheaper, and
Yeah.
you're getting all the updates for free. So that is the incentive. Especially you get to play it early if you're excited. But...
Yeah, some games I've
only
seen
ever-
in early access like half the price.
Yeah, I've only ever done kind of like early access stuff on one game. Well, it was a game I backed on Kickstarter, and then you kind of got early access to builds and things of it. And by the time the actual game launched, I was done. I'd had my fill. So that is kind of not a particularly pleasant experience. Kind of you burn yourself out on the worst version of the game. So then
What game was it?
The game was shit. It was Underworld Ascendant. So it was a kind of immersive sim, kind of reimagining of. It was a big series. Ultima Underworld was kind of like one of the first immersive sim games back in the early 90s, and this was sold. It was a classic Kickstarter thing of, oh, we're getting kind of all the old team back together, and we're making this for you guys, and what will be just, you know, the kind of game you've been dreaming about for the last 20 years, and it was shit. So I've not backed anything since.
That's fair
How do you
enough.
feel, Jen, about immersive sims now being dead following E3?
I feel very, very sad about it. Thanks for bringing it up. I mean, I've softened slightly in terms of the I knew the Deus Ex series is dead. Like that Square Enix made that very clear, even pretty much as the last Deus Ex game was being released. It was obvious they didn't care about it. But Arcane seemingly pushing towards slightly less immersive sim type experiences was
It's like a squad shooter, isn't it?
it seems. I mean, yeah, they've since gone to great pains to try and say no, it's still the kind of Arcane type game that you love, and you know, it's all about kind of, you know, finding your own way through things and your own solutions and being creative, and you know, I'm softened on kind of, you know, I was really upset almost by them sort of announcing what seemed like some kind of vampire themed Left 4 Dead, basically, and that just didn't seem like the kind of game I wanted from them. But I can kind of see how it might still be good, and they're still making Deathloop, which is more of a traditional immersive sim. So yeah, but I don't know. It's never been the most popular of genres. So us immersive sim fans are used to being kind of screwed over.
I love them.
Immersive sim is a weird genre, if you ask me, because wouldn't any game kind of be an immersive sim? You're not really simulating anything
It's a weird
particular in the
game
game.
genre, yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
the name has stuck from something that Warren Spector said 20 odd years ago, and it never really worked as an explanation then. But it's just become one of those things that people generally understand what it means, and nobody's offered a better suggestion. It's like Metroidvania. Metroidvania is a pretty shit name for a title.
I
There's
call
nothing else
I call them backtracking adventures. I do genuinely call them backtracking adventures.
which is probably a better description. So
Yeah, it's true. You fucking backtrack most of the time whilst adventuring and killing shit.
yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those terms that, you know, it's become accepted as this is the way we talk about these kinds of games, even if it doesn't really mean anything. It's like everyone just throws out the like roguelike now, even though no one really knew what it meant or understands like what actually, like everybody goes on about roguelikes, and I bet 99%
No one's played Rogue.
No one's played Rogue. Yeah, it's like what the hell?
I've never played Rogue, but I know
game.
what Rogue is.
Yeah,
I've seen it like.
but it's just genre naming is weird. It's like for years when everyone called FPS games Doom clones because Doom was the most popular.
Those are the days.
I Cumberland said I call Gradius or Gradius, however you say, type games start over again em ups. What do you call arcade games then? You don't call them beat 'em ups now, you just call them money eating games.
That's it. Yeah, take my money.
I used to call fighting games beat 'em ups, and then got very confused when I came on the internet and discovered everyone calling different kind of game beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
Beat 'em up. What are the kids
Yeah,
call
there's
it?
beat 'em ups, and then there's like which is like I would
Streets of
say
Rage.
Streets of Rage and that, but I would also say Street Fighter is just I guess a lot of people
Yeah.
call them tournament fighters.
Idiots. Pretentious idiots. That's who calls it that.
Jazzo calls them
start-
tournament fighters. Well, how could you say such a nasty thing about Jazzo?
Well, he's not here, so it's fine. Yeah, I mean, because people have come along with the term brawler now, I think, to sort of describe Streets of Rage type games, which I think kind of works, but
yeah,
then
it kind of works because you are walking around brawling. I know
yeah,
you are in a tournament fighter, but you're going through, walking through levels, punching everything to death. Literally.
yeah.
Belt
so I think
scroller confuses me. What's a belt scroller?
it's one of those
What?
things where you get in your wardrobe to choose which belt you want.
So Belt Scholar describes the appearance, right? So Streets of Rage, if you think it's side-scrolling, but rather than you're on a flat plane, you can move forwards and backwards. So it's like you're on a conveyor belt in a factory.
Ah, right, yeah. That's even more
And
confusing when you go into the levels with a conveyor belt.
Yeah, you're literally in. But yeah, I think all this conversation has confirmed is that most genres are terribly named, and
Yeah, the only accurate one is sports game and racing game.
yeah, but then you've got people who try and call like Mario Kart a racing game. It's like that is not a racing game.
It is a racing game, but it's a party
about
racing
racing.
game. It's a fucking love-hate game. You love it, but you also hate it. That's what it is. So exactly what Mario Kart is the amount of clips I've had from Mario Kart when I've streamed it, the amount of screaming I'm doing whilst playing it online with people is unreal. And I'm not like that with any other game. Just Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe.
You were excited then when Mario Kart 9 got announced, like all the leakers said it would. All those inside.
right after the 3D Donkey Kong and Switch Pro announcements.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
I hear plans got changed at the last minute.
Of course,
Yeah.
I was told
yeah.
something different.
I love it though. It's like, oh, they're going to announce a new Mario Kart at E3. Oh, plans have changed. They're going to announce the next year's E3. And they're going to say that now until an E3 comes. Go, see, I told you, I'm right. Oh, this guy's
Eventually,
really,
a new
really
Mario Kart will happen, right? Like,
exactly. Well, I
it's
hope
inevitable.
Yeah. Was there any real reason to have it at E3? You know.
So. Yeah, E3 for Nintendo isn't as big a thing because they do directs all through the year. The thing for me is I don't think a Mario Kart 9 will come out this generation anyway because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sells so well, so they may as well keep it for the Switch 2, the Super Switch, the Switch Qual? I can't say it.
Switch U.
The Switch U. Wii was about us. Wii U is about you. What? What you talking about, Reggie? I like you, but what the fuck?
Although it's this controller. It's just a controller, right?
Yeah. Where were we talking about? Because I think we've gone off topic again. You guys are awful for going off topic.
We were talking. We haven't even got. Are we still on the first Summer Games Fest thing?
Well, no, because we did actually mention things that have been in other conferences. It's kind of more of a general rambling than a specific section each.
That's the best way. I was going to say, is there anything that anyone's really excited about from E3?
I've got one that leads on quite well from because we were talking about Streets of Rage and stuff. River City Girls 2 got announced. It was sort of lost in the noise because it wasn't really
and River City Girls 0.
Yes, which is the like re-release but first time translated of the original game starring the same characters. But yeah, I really like River City Girls, the original game, and I saw that announced and got really excited. And yeah, I almost missed it being announced because, like I said, it wasn't in any of the big shows and there wasn't a trailer or anything. They just, I think, threw up a logo and said, by the way, we're making this. So yeah, I'm excited, but there's not much to say about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't finished the first game, so I was playing through it in co-op with someone, and I just haven't gone back to it. I want to, but it just isn't happening.
That's the way to play it for sure. It's way better than co-op, I think. So.
But I really like it. It's really fun. And when I saw on Twitter, oh, we're doing number 2, I'm like, yay! And there's more characters you can play as from the sounds of it. You can be, what are their names? Kunio and Ricky? I don't know if that's their names.
Yeah.
And I think from the image shown, it looked like 2 other girls, but you couldn't see their faces. Like you could only see them up to about like their waist or something, maybe a bit higher to their chest.
No, steady on.
like just like I think it cuts off at the neck so you don't see their head, something like that, or their shoulders, something stupid like that. It was. But so you can have more characters players as well as it, hopefully being really good like the first game. Like I don't know how far in we go. We go to where you fight the Arnold Schwarzenegger styled character. That stage area. It's not really a stage because you like walk around.
Yeah, it's sort of open world in a way, but you definitely go
very
through
Scott
it in
Pilgrim.
stages.
Very
yeah.
It's very River City. The original games were like a very River City Ransom. Sorry, I think I threw the topic off course there somehow. Metroid Dread. People keep mentioning Metroid Dread. I don't know. I don't care. Nah.
Bold words.
I'm joking. I've already got it pre-ordered. It's already pre-ordered. I don't think it looks amazing visually.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. It's when it started, I can't remember exactly how the reveal started, but when it was like, oh shit, it's a Metroid, and it's like they've just said it's not going to be Prime, so what the hell is this? And then when it started showing something, and then Dog from Half-Life 2 showed up. That was quite cool. Like I say, I didn't think visually like, oh shit, this looks amazing, but I just had a thought of like, I wonder if this is Metroid Dread. Like, I wonder if they're going to pull that, and almost immediately it said Metroid Dread. I was just like, I had the biggest grin on my face. It's like, you crazy son of a bitch, you did it.
Yeah. Like, I don't think it looked bad or anything. I just think, like, I don't know, it just seems a little unpolished, but the game isn't finished yet, so it could change and become nicer. Yeah. A lot nicer for all we know, but I'm not saying it's bad looking. I'm just saying I've visually seen better looking 2D Metroidvanias.
The sections where it was 2D looked the best. I think all the times when it went into the kind of like the camera pulled in sort of behind Samus and kind of showed. I didn't think that looked very good. I think when it stuck to the 2D view, I think it looked all right. It was, it's not kind of groundbreaking visuals, but I think it was 60 frames per second, which was nice, which does make a difference, I think, in these kinds of games. But I think it's just more the fact that they are making a 2D Metroid, a new 2D Metroid game is the big deal. That's why it's kind of exciting, not necessarily how it looks or kind of... I mean...
Metroid 5!
Someone else?
Hypes.
I thought so.
Broken down the door.
I'm going to say though, Hypes in chat, when I said I don't care about Metroid, he told me to go, fuck me. But Hypes was there when I was reacting live to the announcement, and he knew exactly how I reacted. I was screeching like a bloody kid going, Metroid 5!
One of your ball pairs. Just like with a pair of tweezers, just.
Yeah, it was truly it was probably the big moment for me, because it's like, oh, awesome. Finally a 2D Metroid that's new and not a remake.
Yeah. Like, I've got no investment in the Metroid series at all, but even I knew it was a monumentous moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 19 years since the previous.
Yeah.
The mere 19 years.
mere
What's 19 years between friends?
Yeah.
It's the kind of reveal which made me miss them doing a live show, because that would have been fun to watch all the journalists who
All the Americans
go wild
whooping.
over new Metroid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, as soon as they said it wasn't Prime, I was like, oh my god. Metroid 5.
Yeah, it was cool. Metroid 5.
My only concerns is that they're saying that, you know, it wraps up the story and it's the end of the series. So, you know, like, I want more 2D Metroids. Not just one.
I guess they can go back in time and do earlier points in the story and stuff like that.
Oh
But yeah,
no, Samus is gonna die!
Samus died on the way back to her home planet.
Oh, Poochie.
Samus got killed by GLaDOS.
Yeah. I do think, like, Valve, I think, could easily take them to court over the design of that monster. That's I think since Portal came out, everyone seems to have just ripped off the, you know, it's like, guys, you can have robots that look different. You know, they don't all have to look like Portal stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, Metroid's got some pretty iconic enemies. And not just your Ridleys and Craigs. You know.
And it seems like you can
it's-
only kill him with a specific weapon, which...
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a bit
I'm
odd.
really hoping it's substantial size thing. I mean, if it's a good quality game, it doesn't matter if it's like 2 hours long, does it? But I'd really like it to be sort of Hollow Knight-esque in a.
Yeah.
It really feels like.
Maybe
it
not
really
as
feels like dangerous
long as
areas.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you know, I kind of want it to be, you know, 5 hours when you first play through, but eventually you can speed run it to 50 minutes or something.
the thing with that sort of game, and like I'm going back to the immersive sim thing a bit, is like the thing that makes that type of game really good for me is that there should feel like areas where they're even at end game, they're like pretty much no-go areas. You know, like I don't dare go in that bit. I don't want to be able to just sort of steamroller everything and go in every nook and cranny first. You know, I want to be sort of like the bit in Hollow Knight where you just get, I can't remember what it's called, where you just get dropped.
Deep
You just-
Nest.
Deep Nest, yeah.
And when you get dropped down there, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit! It's like,
Yeah.
how the hell? I want that sort of thing of like,
Yeah. Because you do that, and then you feel like you travel for absolutely ages before
hours.
you get back to somewhere that feels familiar and safe, and you just can't get that feeling if it's a small game. You need that expansive kind of. Yeah, I think Hollow Knight really does that well. Whether this will or whether this needs to, I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you that I feel like these kind of games, they need that feeling of being sort of lost and isolated, and that you're up against it. It's not, oh yeah, just I'm 2 screens away from a save room, it's fine.
yeah. I'm so far off the beaten track here. Like, do I dare go left, and do I dare go through this door, or do I sort of backtrack for 10
It
minutes?
did actually say in the, was it the tree house or something? Like, when you die in this, you like respawn pretty close to where you died. I'm not even sure it's like a save.
Oh,
Interesting.
What?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
has got funky mode. That's the key thing.
And it's funky mode. Well, no, it's got the parry dodge thing, which is I think a bit cool.
Did
To get funky mode, I want Blast Ball 2 as a side mode.
All we do need is a Metroid pinball. Remember that?
Yeah.
Metroid Prime. We need like as an unlockable little Metroid Prime pinball in it.
Why not? Metroid Prime 4.
That's
Yes,
what Prime
Christopher.
4 is going to be.
Metroid Prime 4 pinball game unlocked in
Oh,
Metroid
pinball.
5.
It's just gonna be one of those like what they call them, those little. What's the Japanese thing? Is it Japanese? Yeah, the little. We drop something and it pings off a load of pins.
Jinko.
Yes, one of them. It's gonna be one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
they'll farm it out to Konami to do it.
Just get whoever did the Super Mario Sunshine level to do it.
Oh, I think they've been killed.
Hitler.
Hitler is dead.
Hooray!
No, the reveal for
Doctor Who episode.
Metroid 5, it did say like we've got nothing to say about Metroid Prime, so that's not coming for the Switch.
I think it was ambitious. It might be. I mean, Nintendo don't really do cross-generation things except for Breath of the Wild. The only chance
Twilight
the Switch has
Princess.
got. Yeah, so Zelda then is basically the
Yeah,
only time.
yeah.
I think it's a long shot for Prime 4 to come out on the Switch. It's
Breath
either
of the
going to
Wild
be
2 might be the cross-gen one.
yeah.
That's not
You'll get the rubbish version maybe on the Switch.
You'll get a version on the Switch, which was going to have special features that have been removed for the next console.
Yeah, and on the next
It's still
console,
better.
we can all look forward to nice Switch ports.
We
Yes.
ordered Wii U, damn it.
Well, it needs to be on Switch because what was that Prime song that was in the GRcade vote for the most iconic songs was something right?
Yeah,
Vendrana.
Vendrana.
as we all know, if you stopped your average person on the street and said, could you sing a sort of a gaming theme tune, they'd probably go, oh yeah, hang on a minute.
That is the one they pick.
Really noisy.
Iconic.
But no, because that's called Drift, I think that's why it needs to be on Switch.
Oh yes, there we go.
Maybe they'll call the next console the Nintendo Drift. And whenever you load it up, it plays Vendrana Drifts. Then it'll become iconic. What has that competition ended on the forum then?
Yeah, Mario won.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it was like
Mario
or
1?
Zelda
Really?
Main Theme. It's so obviously Mario.
It's either going to be Mario, or Tetris 8.
Exactly. Yeah. And Mario beat Tetris in the semis, didn't it? So
Well, hey,
Mario wins.
Mario beat Tetris' semi.
Oof.
You're disgusting, Jenuall. Where were we? Why'd you keep throwing things off track?
We're talking about
Metroid. Yeah, Metroid. I think for me, Super Metroid's my favorite Metroid. Fusion, I think, is a close, of the 2D ones. Fusion is close. I don't enjoy it as much as Super Metroid. Doesn't seem as. I don't know. I think it's a little more linear feeling, and with Adam, it kind of doesn't feel as if you're as isolated. But the quality of life improvements bump it up a bit,
Mm-hmm.
If Super Metroid was remade exactly the same, but with those quality of life improvements, it would be.
Super Metroid is kind of like the isolation. Metroid Fusion is you're being hunted.
Yes. Yeah, they both aim for different things.
Yeah.
They both nail the thing they're going for.
Yeah. Dread seems to be you're being hunted again, but this time by more than one thing.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes again. It says
Yes.
on the old consoles.
Yeah.
But whether it's sort of like you must go here or just why not check out somewhere.
Do you know, I'm Metroid Prime pinball. I did have it on my my DS, which I really definitely bought. I didn't download it.
Goodbye.
I've forgotten how good it was. But just looking at it now, it's like I'd love something like that. It really works as a theme.
I think I got a copy once from CEX with one of those shite, dodgy printed covers. But I don't.
You should play.
I've never actually played it.
You should play Yoku's Island Express because that's a Metroidvania that is a pinball game.
That's a really good game. It's one of those things when people have played it, you can't, everyone who plays it can't recommend it enough. But getting people to make that leap of buying it and say, well, you're a little bug that rolls a ball of shit around, and it's a postman bug, and you've got to, oh, all right. No, it's really good because it's pinball, but you sort of go, all right.
Yeah, it's not an easy sale, that one.
And this is the thing with Metroid 5 now, Dread, coming out 19 years later. You know, when Fusion came out, they were Metroidvanias. It was Metroid and Castlevania. Now there's a shit ton of indie Metroidvanias that have upped the bar a lot.
Yes, it's a busy genre now.
Axiom Verge.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
I love that. That was great.
No, Symphony of the Night. Something of the something.
Ritual of the Night.
That's the one. Ritual of the Night is awesome.
Bloodstained, yeah.
Yeah, Bloodstained is really good. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is really good as well. And the second one, I am finished that though. You get to play as a fucking corgi in a train mech suit, man. How can you not love that?
I really like Metroidvanias, but I'll upset you all now by saying I basically haven't played a Metroid or Castlevania game that I've liked, but the only Metroid games I've played have been Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Prime Hunters, and Metroid 2.
Oh, well,
so have I just gone completely wrong here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Play Other M, it's brilliant.
Then I'm like, I see Dread, and I'm like,
I don't hate Other M.
I can't get excited.
I hate the story and I hate the acting. The rest of it, I can live with. But yeah, play Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
If you can get access to Metroid Fusion.
I played like Prime 3, and then everyone was like, "Oh no, you should play classic Metroid." So I was like, "Okay," and then I saw Metroid 2, so I was like, "Oh, try this out."
Yeah,
and
well,
that was also bad.
If you play the fan remake of Metroid 2 is actually good. What's it? AM2R?
Yeah, another Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah, that kind of pulls the best you can get out of Metroid 2, I think. But yeah, the original Game Boy game is not great.
It did influence a lot of the future designs and stuff. Like I think someone was telling me like the Varia suit or Various suit, whichever it's pronounced, I think it's Varia. Like the shoulder pads and stuff.
Shoulder pads,
yeah, stuff like that.
Like
they couldn't do color stuff in the Game Boy.
Yeah, it looks more like Metroid does now than the original Metroid. Obviously, just looks ridiculous, like in many ways. Like it looks nothing like.
Epically bad looking.
But yeah, Metroid 2 was the first one where kind of like the design, because you see you see her ship in it and it looks like the ship should do, and her suit looks right, and kind of the upgrades where you get the upgrades from the little like statues and stuff like that. All of that looks like it should look like. Whereas the first game just looks weird.
Tiny grade.
I'm wondering exactly how we'll go with this new one, because obviously with the new Metroid 5, with Metroid Dread, you're on a new planet. Everything they'd shown so far had been different types of aliens that we hadn't seen previously. I'm wondering how much of the older ones will show up, because like I think it was Matt maybe was saying it makes sense that there's different aliens. There's not the same aliens that we've seen before because we're on a new planet, but Metroid has been set on several different planets, and there's always been other ones showing up from past games.
Well, you've got to have Metroids at some point.
Yeah, I'm not about Metroid. I'm about like the little spiky fuckers that go around on platforms.
Space pirates are bound to turn up.
Yeah,
I wasn't that impressed with the amorphous brown blob that there tended to be a lot of in that demo.
I mean, they'll have even if they don't have exactly the same enemies, they'll have things that are doing the same job. Kind of, here's a thing that crawls around the edge of things. Here's a thing that kind of swoops down and shoots at you. They're standard enemy tropes, aren't they? They don't necessarily have to be exactly the same enemy, but
and everything looks a bit different because it's in the Samus Return style rather than X.
Yes. Yeah.
This is true. Are you looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 then, even though we know nothing about it? How high is the anticipation for Metroid Prime 4, even though we know of Dread now? Has it kind of eased it off a bit because you got another new Metroid coming, or is it like, no, I just want Prime 5.
Well, yeah, it's
Some people just
non-existent.
prefer Prime like Prime 4. Why did I keep
There's
saying
no,
Prime
there's
5?
no hype for Prime 4. There's no hype for Prime 4 because it's just a name. We know literally nothing
Yeah.
about it. We haven't
Yeah.
seen
It's
it.
so far away. There's no point in getting excited about it.
Yeah.
The sea levels
Which-
might have risen and we might have all drowned or burned by the time it's ready to come out. So.
The fact that that Metroid Dread has been announced does make the it's like, right, okay, there's new Metroid coming. We don't we're not, all of our hopes aren't resting on this
This march on
dream.
Kyoto.
Yeah. Prime 4, it's clearly years away still, and it's clearly
Shocking.
a system away.
When you say a system,
But-
do you mean like the Switch 2 or the Switch 3?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they skipped the Nintendo 64 generation, didn't they? So they're not,
And the Wii U.
And the Wii
Don't
U,
forget
yeah.
the Wii U.
Yeah. So yeah. Everyone forgets.
Hey, there was the Metroid game in Nintendo Land. Come on, give them credit.
That counts.
Yeah.
Prime 4 will release alongside Meowth's Party.
Can't wait.
Prime 4 will release alongside the Amico.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, it has renewed. So Dread coming out has made me excited for Metroid again, but it has also made me excited for Prime 4. It's kind of I really want to go back and play Prime 1 again. I've got a real kind of itching to play that, and so I really want a new, really good Metroid Prime game.
Well, there was all the rumours as well about
Oh.
the trilogy coming out on
Yeah.
the Switch, wasn't there?
That's been a rumor for like every year of the Switch's life.
That's the easiest rumour to just put, again, one of those like, hey guys, like I can't say too much, but there's going to be a new Mario game, and then when one comes out like, oh hey lad, he's the bloody Messiah. It's the same thing. It's like predicting that the Prime trilogy is going to appear on some form on the Switch is like the most obvious thing.
Yeah.
Of course,
You
it's
sort of wonder whether they had it. They do have it.
yeah.
They were holding it off for release just
They-
before Prime 4, but now that's never happening.
Yeah.
Possibly some sort of deluxe. I could see it being like a deluxe bundle with
Yeah.
the like a physical version of it, or at least
Yeah.
a separate
Prime
download,
quadrology.
Yeah.
or pay like 80 quid with a book and the download of the trilogy.
I'm so
But
going
what-
to cancel that.
What they do with Dread will be interesting to see, kind of if Prime Trilogy is a real thing. Because you'd think, right, well, are they going to release Fusion? Or are they going to bring Game Boy Advance games to the Switch Online? If they do that and Fusion comes out before Dread, then you think, right, okay, well, maybe they will actually give us Prime Trilogy before Prime 4 drops. But I suspect we're not getting Game Boy Advance games, and we won't be getting Fusion to play as a primer to sort of get us
We
ready
are
for
getting
Dread.
Game Boy Advance games. We're getting Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Oh yes, yeah.
You
That'll
think
do.
though? To be fair
No,
though,
we released
speaking
Fusion
of Game Boy
Designs as a
Advance,
toy.
speaking of Game Boy Advance games, you would think like the Switch being portable, it would be a perfect fit.
Yep. And that's the thing, it's like it would be so easy for them. They clearly have
Yeah.
like the emulators for it. It would take 5 seconds for them to add Game Boy Advance games to the Switch Online lineup. If they can't even be bothered to do that, then they're definitely not
Add
going
them
to be
to the
bothered to
eShop.
do Prime Trilogy or something. Yeah.
We'll
It's
talk
easy
about
money,
Advance Wars in a
but
yeah.
second, is it? But what I wanted to ask is 2D or 3D Metroid?
Why not both?
No. You gotta choose which one you prefer.
2D for me.
Yeah, 2D.
If we only had the first Prime game, I would be saying
Hmm.
3D all the way because it is amazing. But the other two, while I enjoyed them, the quality isn't up with the first one. I'd say the 2D ones have a higher consistency of being good, so I'd say 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2D. same
I
here.
think that Prime 1 is incredible. Like, I don't think Prime 4 will come close to sort of matching that in my affections. If the 3D games had been consistently as good as Prime, then I'd struggle to pick between them. But yeah, as it is, 2D. 2D has got Super Metroid and Fusion, which to me are
Zero
both
Mission.
and Zero Mission. Yeah, exactly. Which are 3 incredible
Really
games. There are also a few slightly less good 2D Metroid games, but that's kind of 3 top quality games to, I would say for me, only Prime 1 is sort of like top game quality. 2's still very good, and 3's not great.
I'm not sure what I'd pick out of. I'm not sure what I'd pick out Prime 3 and Metroid 2. But there we go.
yeah, you've got a limited selection to go from. Oh, wow.
I enjoyed Prime 3. I thought it was good. I liked the combat, the flow on that. It felt nicer to play. But,
I really like the motion controls.
Although, which one has other M?
Wow.
3D, 2D, or 2.5D?
That can go in the 3D camp.
I was going to say, I mean, and Dread looks like it's kind of treading the boundaries between 2D and 3D. And certainly, at least some of the sort of cinematic stuff seem to be using 3D.
Yeah, I would agree with Commodines. Prime 3 is great, but a bit easy. Yeah. That's what I think.
I think it's the length of them as well. The 3D games are longer. With 2D, you sort of know what you're doing. It's easier for me to work out when I need to go in the 2D bit. I can't go with 3 dimensions.
How good would Prime be? And I know you can get a hack to do this, so I might actually have to try it at some point. But how good would Prime be in VR? That would be
it's gotta be awesome.
They were going to do that.
Why
in
do
the
I have a
trilogy. They were
funny
gonna have
feeling that
Labo
Devlin
VR.
played it in VR?
There is people have sort of. That's one of those things I saw people have done it, like, oh my god, that's amazing, I'm going to try it, and I've never done it. But it looks, I mean, it's going to be like a little bit of a compromise. But I think I might do it just to sort of be in, just to sort of stand in the world and look around and go, oh Christ, I'm in this place with this iconic music playing.
It's I don't know about iconic, but it's definitely a really good fucking
It's amazing, but
tune.
That wasn't the aim.
I know.
iconic.
I actually posted in a thread myself saying, I thought we were supposed to be voting for most iconic. People are voting for stuff they just clearly like. The most.
Saying that though, I did hear my neighbour, my elderly neighbour, whistling the Ice Cap Zone music the other day. So
Classic.
who knows?
Seriously? Damn it. The thing is they might have been because there is a song by the Jetsons called Hard Times.
Hard Times. Yeah.
Hard times, every time of my life. Hard times gone by. Like that it goes.
Brad Buxer, isn't it? He's the common link.
Yeah.
Oh, is it actually related in some way then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got.
I think the thing is it was going to be a song, then it didn't get released, so he used the same tune in Sonic 3 or something. Yeah, that way around it was. I think.
Well, who's
Sampled
it
it
by?
sort of-
Listen to that. Who's that by?
Jetsons,
Yeah.
and it's called Hard
Brad-
Times.
Like Brad Buxer was like the keyboardist, I think, for them or something.
Yeah, check it out. Stick it on in the background now. I would put it on, but it's naughty.
Off topic here because I was sick of listening to normal music today. I thought I'm going to put a game soundtrack on, and I found the Sonic Mania soundtrack.
Oh, classic.
Oh my god, it's great.
Yes.
It is so good.
I was speaking of that, E3 and kind of games that we're looking forward to. Games I cannot believe they have not announced. Like Sonic Mania 2 is. I was literally saying this to someone today. That is one of the biggest open goals in gaming right now. Is just make Sonic Mania 2, Sega. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants it.
Yeah.
And loads of people will buy it, and it is really easy. Just get the same people who made Mania to make Mania 2. It will cost 10 times less than whatever shitty 3D Sonic game you're going to try and make, and it will do 100 times better. Just fucking make it.
I think that's the problem. Sonic Team are too embarrassed that
Yeah,
it would just be better than what they can make.
yeah. It is a sad state of affairs.
But yeah, you should definitely check out that song Hard Times. It's really good, and it's definitely the same song. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it's based on this Michael Jackson song, and it's like, no, it really isn't. It's based on this exact song that the guy said is the song. himself.
Yeah. But everyone gets obsessed with the Michael Jackson connection, and the guy Brad Buxer did work with Michael Jackson as well, which is why people still think he was involved. But yeah, good. It's a good song.
It is. I've just listened. Oh, some of it.
He's gonna add that to his playlist.
Yeah, there it is.
It was funny. I have my favourites list, which is about 200 strong, and some of it's quite slow stuff, some of it's quite rocky and stuff. But hidden amongst there are some like a few video game things. So if I'm out like early exercising or something, I might be something a bit dreary. I'm quite tired, and then like the Killer Instinct theme tune comes on. And it's like, well, that's going up loud. Then so as loud as my phone will go. So.
Yeah, there is a song on the Bridge Zone. It sounds like Janet Jackson's tune. Everywhere I go. I can't remember.
Yeah. That's a great soundtrack as well. Master System. Sonic. That's Yuzo Koshiro, who's like famous for the Streets of Rage music. He did the Master System Sonic soundtrack, which is awesome.
Can we talk about? I mean, I've brought this up before. I feel like I'm the only person in the entire world that has noticed this. You know that Bruno Mars, "Don't Believe Me, Just Right." It's a complete rip-off of Sonic CD.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to. It's an utter rip-off of Sonic CD. Sonic CD's. I think it's Wacky Workbench. It might be Wacky Workbench, and the boss music. I shall find it, the bits that's ripped off. I don't know why nobody's ever picked up on it.
Because only someone until you played Sonic CD.
Everyone should play Sonic CD.
Because Sonic CD is very good.
Great.
Yeah.
It is not as good as the other 2D Sonics for me, but it is still very good.
Sonic 3 Knuckles is best. If you disagree, you're a dick.
Yeah, it's great that you agree that Sonic 2 is the best, Pedz. Good work.
It's not, though. Simply not. I know I know most people say Sonic 2, but it really isn't. Sonic 3 is better music, better levels.
All right.
Sorry, but it's true.
My first Sonic game was also the one with the best music from a Sonic game, and that was Sonic R.
Sonic R is a good game.
Everybody's Sonic Racing. I like Sonic R. I played it recently and I was like, oh my god, I'm awful at this game. And I used to be able to finish it easy, get all the emeralds, get all the characters. Now I'm like, I can barely finish a race.
Controls in it are terrible. But the music is what wins you over.
Yeah, it got a lot of stick because obviously it was a Sonic game on the Saturn, but it wasn't. It was a racing game. It wasn't. People wanted the Mario 64 equivalent, and it was never.
They got that on the Dreamcast.
Well, yeah, I've got a lot of time for Sonic Adventure, but it is not Sonic's Mario 64 moment. Sonic's never having his Mario 64 moment. It's not happening.
No.
Have a look at some of the fan-made games.
Oh yeah, the fans like scene is massive with Sonic.
Yeah,
there's so much good stuff.
Don't most people play games with the sound off? No, Graham. No, that's naughty. Naughty, Graham.
I just put that tune I've just linked to. It's even more blatant than I first thought. It is the same bloody song. How have they got away with that?
No idea.
You'll have to have a listen to that then.
I thought there was Sonic Extreme they were going to do, which was kind of like a 3D, 2D-ish weird looking game.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't know what to do with it. I think. I mean, when back then when the rules weren't really written of what a 3D platformer could and couldn't do. I mean, I can imagine just going, right, we're going to make Sonic in 3D, right, go, and then like, well, this doesn't work. What do we do then? Well, let's just put some sort of wacky fisheye thing because I can't see enough. It's too quick to see where you're going. So let's put a silly fisheye thing so you can see more of the level at once.
Yeah, there's a whole load of prototypes that have come out over the years of various versions of Sonic Extreme whilst they were making it, and some of them are actually playable, but they're all crap. Yeah. It was never going to work.
Have you played them?
Yeah, I've played a couple of them. Like, it's
No,
one
I'm
of
only
them where
wondering
you
because
had
I remember talking to you before about that you were like really interested in some of the Sonic stuff. I think it was you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, no, I'm still am. There's loads of like research websites about kind of prototype Sonic games and stuff. Like, there's a place called Hidden Palace.
Yeah.
.org that's got loads of stuff on there. But yeah, none of these Saturn attempts at making a Sonic game were ever going to fly. It was clearly a doomed exercise.
I want to play that Sonic game. I can't remember what it's called, but it's based on the Doom engine. It's made in the Doom engine.
Yeah.
As you mentioned,
that looks
Doomed.
good, doesn't it?
Sonic 2 Blasts or something like that it's called.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, we were talking about Advance Wars. Well, we were going to talk about Advance Wars. We didn't actually get to the subject.
Oh, to be fair, it is Sonic's birthday today.
It is, but
It is. Yeah.
we've only got 35
Congrats,
minutes
Sonic.
with Victor, and I wanna talk about Mario Maker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think realistically we want to mention some of the things we really want to see, and then move on to Mario Maker,
Hmm.
and then only because we've got 35 minutes to talk about Mario Maker. And I would say do it another day, but Garen, Victor, and Jenuall, and us three who also took part together is a fucking nightmare.
Honestly, Pedz, you should have kept taking us off on tangents if you wanted time to talk about all these.
I didn't do nothing.
We should really have 7 of us in here, shouldn't we?
That's it. So Pedz, you can go 7th.
God damn it!
He's not going to want to talk about it now.
I went first when it comes to going out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Went out first.
In the
Technically speaking,
backwards
I went
story,
out
you
second.
did.
Tom went out first because he forfeited and left.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What a twat.
Tom saved me from being last. Tom was last. But to think his brother won the very first Mario Maker competition.
Yeah. Crazy times.
So, what are we talking about exactly now? Are we going to be talking about Mario Maker, or are we going to stay on E3?
Has anyone got anything massive about E3 that they think hasn't been talked about yet? Or...
Well, just mention Forza Horizon 5.
That
you
was one
know,
thing I would
that-
like to mention. It looked amazing, didn't it?
Yeah. That's looking like a massive expansion over Horizon 4. The map's meant to be 1.5 times bigger. They're touting the highest playable point on a map. And I'll believe them with that volcano that was in the trailer, you know. Going up there and just looking out on the world, that's going to be something.
Was the
Yeah.
volcano active? I can't remember.
It kind of looked at, maybe?
That'll probably be some event, won't it? Some.
Yeah.
I just want to drive my first car into it.
Yes.
I hope my character screams when I go in.
I was gonna say, I think Forza Horizon 5. Also, yeah, quick question: how are people pronouncing that? Because it's really annoying me. Like how some people, when I've been watching videos about it, really seem to like stress calling it Forza.
Yeah.
That's
Forza.
Italian.
And I'm like, nah, mate. It's Forza.
No, it's
It is.
Forza.
It is Forza. I say Forza
Yeah.
normally.
It's
I
like,
don't give
Forza.
it's like
I
Italian.
pronounce
like,
it
Ferrari.
Horizon.
Do you say pizza? You say pizza.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, that's what I
You
said.
do- that's the thing, though. That's one thing I always wonder. Is there's 2 Z's in pizza, but there's 1 in Pisa.
There's
Well,
only
Pisa's
one in
an S.
Forza.
There's none in Pisa because it's an S. It's even
Oh
bad.
yeah. What am I
Pedz,
on
you
about?
embarrass yourself.
I was thinking of the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
There is one Z in Pedz though, so
Yeah, exactly. And we don't call it pets.
There's only one Z in Forza.
Yeah, but for
The double
it-
Z thing's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but there's one in
Forza.
Horizon as well, so there's 2 overall.
Horizon.
But
Exactly, there you go.
Forza is Italian, as Victor said, so that's why it's Forza. If you don't like it, take it up with 8 hours. He is the
Forza Sports.
8 hours is the grammar and spelling police. Man,
It's
Also,
Forza, deal with it.
When you say Forza, you also have to do the Italian hand gesture. You have to wave your hand in the air while you say it for full authenticity. Or
Yeah.
what's it? Authenticity.
but yes, it's Forza. It is actually pronounced Forza. You can say Forza, it don't bother me, but Forza is how you are meant to pronounce it. Kind of like Nez. You don't say Ness, you say fucking Nez.
One's
you?
dead.
Do you though?
Yeah,
Some
Nez.
people.
I don't like it when people go
are very-
NES. No, it's
Yeah,
Nez.
that's the one. NES and Super NES. Oh, jog on. Call it the SNES.
SNES.
SNES and NES. And
It's the SNES.
NES 64 and Game NES and NES Wii and NES Wii U and NES Switch. Yeah.
The dirty Western Famicom.
Yeah. I haven't got my NES or Super Nintendo set up. I've actually got my Famicom and Super Famicom set up. So there.
Oh, classic. Keep it classic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the game looks really good, and I can tell it's it's a really nice evolution for things. But the problem with me is I Horizon 4 I just couldn't get into. It's just not enough racing for. It's like, oh, drive around, do an event. You get to an event, and it's like, oh, I came third. Move on. It's like what? Like I wanted. It's not enough racing. It's not a racing game. That's my
Like
problem.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That is definitely the problem with Horizon 4. Because they touted it as a do anything you want type of experience, so racing was pretty much secondary. Although I'd still much rather have that than Horizon 2's, where you had to go on road tours and could only access the races through those.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
and it's
enough
clearly-
coming third and then just retrying until I get first.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just think it does. Yeah, I mean, I was clearly going into it with the wrong mindset in terms of it's not. It's clearly not designed to cater for someone who wants a racing, a traditional racing game experience. It felt to me just like they could have lent a bit more into making the racing side of it a bit more serious and a bit more. If you wanted to, you could kind of dive into it a bit deeper without losing the freedom of kind of go everywhere and do some stunt stuff as well, and it's like it feels like there could have been a slightly better balance, which is one thing I'd like to see if they can kind of redress that slightly for 5. But
I
we'll see.
like Forza Horizon 4, so there.
There.
I
you go.
like 3 a lot as well. I actually, I think I've played more of 4 than I did 3, but I actually preferred 3. So, think of that what you will.
Progression. Because it was like you started at one festival base and you worked to open more festivals around Australia. So that worked well.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to repeat the same thing for the 4th game, so they made you more of a...
Yeah, each game has its own storyline, so we say.
I did like the thing where it says your name in the game.
Yeah.
Presumably it gets it from your Microsoft account or something like that. But yeah, like the first time I played it, I was like, how is this woman saying my name? Like, what the hell's going on?
Hi, Pedz. How are you today? Never said that, but you know what I mean. I'm fine, thanks, weird person on the game.
Yeah.
But it does look good. There's no denying that. It looks, looks amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with Motorsport. Not because I want to play it, but more visually, and where they'll go with Horizon 6. I know they're a way away. It's just I'm interested in them because when we were talking about it last time, we were talking about it not being while it's, I think it's this generation exclusive. it's not built from the ground up for this generation because there's a new engine and stuff being made, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes with the new engine.
Because Horizon 5's cross-gen, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is cross-gen, is there? I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I think so, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, my kid will be happy, one of them, because he can still play it. So he's like, I'm going to be playing it on your X. The day it comes out, I'm going to be down on your Xbox playing your Forza Horizon 5. And I'm like, are you?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I am.
Nah, mate.
I'm like, go and play Gran Turismo on your PlayStation 5 and leave me alone, or I play another game.
I always feel like those two games are like, or the racing games are always the graphical showcases for a new console. So it will be good when there's an exclusive made specifically for the new consoles, because then you really get to that. I feel like that's always what I look at to see what a console's capable of, how many reflections you can see in their car.
That's all that matters.
There's at least one.
At least one.
At least one. I'm sure I saw at least one reflection in a car. Drive Club was beautiful. It was, yeah. It's just a shame it come out the way it did. I really enjoyed playing it with the GRcade folk on Sundays. Drive Club Sunday was great.
Stop opening that wound up again.
Sorry. Maybe we can all jump on Forza Horizon 5.
Were you doing the hand gesture, Pedz?
Yeah, I was actually. Forza Horizon 5.
Mamma mia.
Thank you for playing my game.
What, Mario Kart? Does any of you live in Gotham? He's Cumberdane's is asking if there's anything like Gotham these days, so I'm assuming he's talking about Batman.
Gotham.
Project Gotham.
Project
Gotham Racing, yeah.
Yeah, Project Gotham Racing. I've played, I think it was PGR 3. I played a couple of times with people from Games Radar. That's how long ago it was.
That was the 360 launch one, wasn't it? I think PGR 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3. It might be 4, but the
last one.
Yeah. What is it? What would compare to Project Gotham now then?
Nothing really, isn't it?
Mario Kart.
Because
that was the last thing, really.
Yeah.
Well, there isn't any arcade races like. What about that
but
one?
You need that.
Like Codemasters, something.
That narrows it down.
It came out quite recently. I think it was made by the people who made Drive Club.
Oh, Dirt 5. Don't get me started on that.
Oh no, I won't do it. I was thinking more of a.
That's by You're not thinking of, there was Onrush, wasn't there? There was Onrush, which nobody played.
I don't know. I remember it being a game.
What about Cruise and Blast? That just got announced on that was at
what's
E3.
that about? Was that an arcade game that's been converted, or is it a
apparently.
Cruising USA is the franchise, isn't it? Kind of thing.
I think
Apparently
it's
it was an arcade game released a few years ago.
I think it's an arcade game. Someone was saying it's an arcade game port, sort of, in the sense of it has the 5 arcade levels, but another 20 odd new ones.
Yeah.
So
there's a load of new levels being added.
There's a lot more than just the
Cruisins on the N64, weren't there?
Yeah, Cruising USA was the first one. It was in the arcade and then N64.
Yeah. Anyway,
it was only in the Switch first recently. I found out.
It's 20 to 10.
Just found out that's Nintendo own it. Anyway, sorry, Pedz. Sorry,
Mario
Pedz.
Maker.
Diversions.
Quick! No, you
What
carry
else
on.
can we talk about? We're talking about Mario Maker.
We could talk about the yogurt I had earlier.
Surprise for Jenuall, he now has to play through every level that was submitted to this year's Mario Maker competition live on the Twitchcast.
Nah, completed it, mate.
You didn't complete my level with the bullet bill mask.
Well, I did. I think you'll find if you check the records, I have cleared that level. I just didn't do it that last time.
Well, you've got to complete it twice at least for it to count.
I'll do a charity stream
Okay.
where I just play that level for 24 hours.
All right.
Oh.
I'll hold you
And
to
I
that.
still won't finish.
Someone clip this so I can put it in my signature on the forum. This is Jenuall's promise to mind. Yeah, we'll go with mind.
Hey, if it raises money, it's all good.
24 hours
Indeed.
at one level would make you go insane. You'd need support from Mind yourself.
Yeah, I'd earn back my my raising.
You know?
Ah dear.
So when it comes to Super Mario Maker, all 5 of us were involved. Jenuall hosted the competition. I myself took part. I came 7th in four rounds out of 5. The last round I came 8th, which was last. Technically it was 9 places because Tom dropped out. Owa and Dark Rula also taking part, as well as Victor Mildew. Owa, I think, got to the semi-finals and came 3rd overall.
I came 4th. Cyborg beat me.
Cyborg came 3rd, did he? Sorry, I thought it was the
was
other
I
way
lost to Victor. I lost to Victor, so I'm going to say I came 2nd. As he was the eventual winner.
Okay, that's fair enough. I
That's-
lost to
that's how
Victor
it
as well.
works.
Exactly.
You're
there you
all
go.
second.
We're all joined 2nd. Dark Rula went out after I did with kicks at the same time, which
That
was
was
a
unfortunate.
massive shock.
Yeah.
Was that your fault, Pedz?
No.
It was whoever. Well, it was everyone's fault because everyone made the scores tied, and the rules didn't allow any wiggle room for doing something other than a double elimination.
Yeah, that's Jenuall's fault then.
Yeah.
You could have edited the rules to say there'd be a playoff.
Yeah, he said the rules didn't allow, as if he had no
The
control over
rules
that.
didn't allow. I just, I'm a slave to the rules.
He's a slave to Devlin's archaic rules.
I don't even know if Devlin had the same rules as that, but hey, that
can't
was the
remember.
only thing I could do at the time.
I reckon Devlin probably would have
Yeah.
done the same, to be honest. And I think anyone, it's harsh, but it's kind of what the
Yeah.
rules are. So I can't say I disagree with it, but I wasn't eliminated as with someone else. So like Dark Rula could probably have more of a say on that.
I was gonna say, yeah, Ruler. When it happened, were you pissed off by that, or?
No, it was very close between me and Kicks. So like, it was kind of fair because I wouldn't have been able to choose between us two. We was doing so well that a double elimination just seemed the best way for it to go.
Well, that's reassuring that you weren't upset by it. So
I would have been upset. I would have cried.
you were already out, Pedz. You were already crying.
That's true.
Yeah, I do think there's a bunch of things kind of with hindsight. I mean, I think doing it all as one big league kind of worked, but because obviously I've not looked back at how Devlin did it every year, but certainly the year that I was a contestant, he split the field into 2 separate groups.
I think he
And then
did
you
that
kind
every year, didn't he?
I don't know if he did. I did quickly look back over some of his threads, and I think potentially the first year, I think he just did one big table. So I thought.
Guess who went out first in that one too?
Yeah, well,
Clearly,
Pedz.
no
And
one fucking likes my stuff. I think I've learned my lesson.
I think, if I remember rightly, you broke the rules at one point in that as well, where you used something. You
I used a
weren't supposed to
checkpoint
use.
in the very first level. I was like, Dragon, you used a checkpoint. Dock him his points. And then Devlin played level. I was like, no, I used a checkpoint as well. I didn't realise I had done it.
It's too late. It was too late to change. But I was going to say, I thought that I think that was quite, it's fun because everyone was building levels to the same guidelines, but at the same time, we did have the unfortunate situation where after about 3 weeks or 3 rounds, we kind of knew who was going to be the top 4. At which point, I think if I did it again and I was doing a full, just everyone's in the same league, I wouldn't do eliminations. I would just run it for, I don't know, seven rounds. Everyone plays, and then we just do something with the top 4. Because it kind of felt a bit like, well, yeah, Pedz, you're getting kicked out, but it's not like you're getting kicked out and it's affecting the fact that it was obvious who was going to be at the top. It felt like, well, why not just let everyone carry on until we do?
Would there have been a way of doing it, of giving, I don't know, maybe the top 3 points every week? So, like, if someone else comes first who wasn't in the top 3 the week before, they'll get points, and maybe someone from the top 3 won't get any.
Yeah, so this is it. And I've been kind of thinking about it. It's kind of a bit of an internal post-mortem thing. Kind of, a way to make it more competitive and things. But at the end of the day, someone's got to win, and if someone's consistently making good levels, then it's fair enough that they come on top. But I do want to think about if I were to do it again, how to make it more competitive, and at the same time, were you, Pedz, did you get about 2 weeks in and think, well, I'm clearly not going to win this, I don't care anymore? Or were you still enjoying making levels? Even though I
was still enjoying it. Like, I knew I'd go out first because of the way it was going, but I'll try and improve on what I'm doing. And unfortunately, I think my best level was the last one I did. And while I think most people enjoyed that, I think the fact that I put checkpoints in kind of screwed that for me.
Yeah.
Because obviously people voted me down as well as being voted down. Technically, I should have lost half my points. So yes. I got punished by the players and the GM, so to speak. So it means that I would have been completely fucked.
Yes.
I think really it's hard because you can't say like you should vote this way, but like for me, for my votes, it was literally. I could like some levels were technically better than others and stuff, although everything was like to a really high standard. It was hard to tell. I literally just went, which did I have the most fun with? And that was it. If there was a mistake in there, I still put that person higher up if I enjoyed their level, because you will punish them.
Yeah. And I think that would be another thing to say to people. Like, you can't control.
No, you can't.
But to say, right, well, don't actively punish someone if you think they've broken the rules. Leave that to me or to whoever's running the game. Just vote it based on kind of does it meet the theme, or is it enjoyable to play? Just kind of think about that. But it did feel a bit like people were getting punished twice, sort of thing. But there's only so much you can do, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking what might be quite a nice thing to do would be to have like a Joker type system you could play, where you can have a Joker you can play once in the competition, and you have to decide to play it before the rules come in, and you could just, or maybe the rules have come in, you can play it once and you just got to sort of bet that whatever score you end up with, so you have to do it before the level gets made. So you have to decide on the night the theme comes in. I decide tonight, yep, that sounds my kind of theme, I'm going to play my Joker this week. And you could double your points on it, so you could either do unexpectedly well and get a shed load of points and bump yourself up, or you could think you've got it and then
you've wasted your Joker.
But then you can't play in any of the sort of finals. So you've got 8 weeks of potentially. So like someone might go, One Screen Wonder, I was really good at this last year. I'm going to decide to play my thing tonight on it, and then you end up making something which doesn't get many votes. Or you could have somebody likewise who goes, well, I might just play it this week, and ends up scoring really well and ends up sort of leaping them up the table a bit.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, the One Screen Wonder for me was always a big problem, even just playing them. Like this time, it wasn't too bad because the levels were pretty simple in comparison to what have happened before. Like people did different things this time. Whereas every time I've done One Screen Wonders before, it's always been like these really complex fucking puzzles, and it's like, wow.
I think the nature of the One Screen level does lend itself to puzzles, but I remember kind of looking back at some of the creations that people had put together in previous competitions and thinking, bloody hell, I would have literally been there for hours. Well, I would have had to have instigated a time limit, because if I was hosting it on some of those levels, I would have been there for days trying to finish those levels.
I really like the ones, like that's one of my favorite themes, doing the one screen. But I definitely prefer. I don't like it if everyone does a puzzle level. This time there were a couple, but they were fine because they weren't all puzzle levels. So they were sort of better because the other levels weren't the same. It's when they all get puzzle levels, and you're sitting there thinking these are taking twice as long to play as regular levels, despite being one screen.
One screen, yeah. Mine was simple. You just had to jump up a couple of blocks, and then I think it was avoid or kill Bowser, because I was like, I don't like doing one screen stuff. Let's just make it as easy as possible.
Because I was going to say, I think Victor, you won the one screen round, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you put the rules through for that, my first thought was, oh
How
shit!
do I make the witness?
It has to be a puzzle game, because a puzzle thing. So I just assumed that's all you would have the space to do in there. I thought, well, I started looking at some of them, and I was like, well, I don't understand enough about them. I didn't know enough about the tool set to be able to do anything apart from just rip off what other people had done. Otherwise, it would have just been really simple. I thought, well, what the hell else could I do? And I thought, well, I'll try like a mini dungeon or something and see if that works. And I sort of homed it and thought, well, I hope nobody else has done this. I was just assuming it was going to be a load of puzzle things. I just thought, well, at least I've done something a bit different. But then it was nice to see that everybody, I think we maybe had one puzzle thing, which is great to have one puzzle one that we could play, but not have to sit and then play 8 puzzle ones, because like you say, you could be there for days and just get jaded by it.
Yeah. I think throughout the whole thing, I was continually impressed by just how much variety we had. Like by the end, I was trying to make the guidelines tighter to try at least attempt to get a situation where people made similar levels, so it was easier to compare them. Because when I started it, I intentionally made the guidelines looser to make it less intimidating. Well, the aim was to make it less intimidating, so people could think, okay, well, I can do something for this round. I don't feel stuck. But yeah, the fact that for the one screen wonder, when you think we had like Orange, you did the one screen 1-1, which was amazing.
I think was. I think I voted for that one highest of all. To be honest, out of those sets.
Well, it was incredible. I remember. I think we had a discussion about it in the past about how I think me and you had both thought about doing that kind of thing in last year.
Yeah, I've tried to do it before and hadn't been able to do it before.
And then I managed
to work it out this time. So.
Yeah, because I think someone else did something clever with, whether it was Cyborg, did something with tracks in an earlier level, and I think kind of that helped to, and you could kind of see how everyone's skill set built up as you sort of watched what other people were doing, and kind of all throughout the the previous year's contest, and you could kind of see how as people's skills built up, then they worked out how to do these much more clever things, and that's how you ended up with one screen 1-1, and like we had 3 I think Zelda dungeons on one screen. So I think Victor, you did one. I think Kix did one, and Carl got like a dungeon with like a boss in
a
it,
checkpoint in the middle,
a checkpoint, a boss, like a puzzle section. Like how you fit all of that in one screen, and it all worked. And like we had coin hunts. Like Pedz, you did like a boss type thing. And Rula, yours was simple but effective. It's like the Cooper shell one. It's like I was constantly amazed at how people managed to come up with such clever ideas.
I can't really disagree with it there. It was some genuinely really good stuff on display through the entire thing. And as I haven't mentioned, Victor actually won the competition. So fair play to Victor. I think he beat out Carl, who came in second, not Orange. And Carl was consistently for most of it. Carl, I think, was first on my list most of the time.
He seemed uncatchable because I didn't know how the competition worked. I didn't realise there was going to be like a playoff part at the end, and it got to the point where it was like there was the top 4 were just sort of changing places a lot. On my my one screen one, I think got me on joint second at one point. I thought, I've got a chance, and then I did a couple of sort of I thought weren't that good levels in a row, and it put me down quite low. And I thought, well, looking at the points on offer now, they're uncatchable.
So what you're saying is you didn't read the rules. It was all made very clear that there would be a playoff in it. But no, I think Carl was consistently very good throughout. I mean, there was a reason we ended up with 4 people at the top, because everyone was good, but the 4 at the top in particular just seemed week in, week out to produce very good levels, and it was hard to argue with it, sort of thing.
One thing I'll say is Cyber is very consistent with good levels, but after the first year when he came first, he's never come first again. And he always makes really interesting stuff, but I think the stuff that's being made now is really fucking good by everyone. And I think that's come with like doing the competition previously and things. But like OSC, like the first year he came first, and he was consistently really good. Like, and then I think the year after he got beat by Matt, and like this year now last year he got beat by you. This year he was beaten out by Victor and Carl. It's quite surprising actually, considering like some of the stuff he does that other people don't do.
So my theory on Cyborg levels is that they're always really good and really clever, but he's so good at Mario games that he makes levels that are actually just often quite tough. Like, I've struggled to beat a lot of probably more Cyborg levels than anyone else's levels. Yeah. Just because they're like require you to be good at Mario, because he's clearly very good at the Mario games.
Yes, so. and with being the one who's been in the competition the longest, he naturally is. He's been doing it for years, and so he's got any potential World 1 easy levels out of his system, and he is kind of looking to make those more complex things, as you naturally do as your skills increase. Most
Kaiser-like,
Yeah, he's the closest to producing anything like sort of Kaiser levels that we've got, even if they're clearly not still. They don't really require any special tricks, but if you were to rank everyone on kind of the skill level required to do their levels, he would be probably top. So yeah, that potentially counts against him. I didn't know whether it was a conscious thing by anyone or if this was just complete coincidence, but it did to me feel like we didn't have quite as many hard levels this year. Certainly as the one kind of hosting it and doing the streams each week.
I just didn't take part, that's why.
When I initially thought, I'm going to do this, I kind of taught myself into doing it. The thing I was most worried about was being sat on stream every week, like I've been there for an hour and I've got through like one level or something, because I thought, based on some of the difficulty of the levels in the past, I thought, right, this could be bad. Potentially, I was doing a disservice to my own skills. I don't think I'm completely crap at the game, but it also did feel like we didn't have too many mega difficult levels this year.
No, I just made the levels and didn't really think about the difficulty. I didn't find it difficult when I played through them. The only one I thought would have been difficult would have been the last one I did, but I put checkpoints in, and I didn't read the rules properly. It's my fault. I didn't realize the clear condition had to be you had to use the proper in-game clear condition. I read the thing and thought I just have to have a monster you kill, boss, and then unlock it. Like, just you kill that boss to get to the flag, which is why I made it have a key that you had to use a door to unlock to get to the flag.
I almost came a cropper on that one because I'd never really delved into Mario Maker before this, so I'd never made anything with a clear condition. So I just, you're going to kill Bowser, great, and I was playing it through and stuff. Okay, right, this is the point where I'm dying quite a lot, and I know how the level goes, so I'm going to put a checkpoint. And as soon as I put the checkpoint in, it said, "Oh, you can't have that with a clear condition." It's like, oh shit, because I'd spent all week making that beanstalk level. It's like, well, I can't go back now because I've spent so much time doing it. I'd have to pretty much wipe half the level out. I was like, well, that was the closest I came, I think, to having a hard level, because I was intentionally making them so you could get through them first time and then have little bits and bobs hidden about within them to either go try speed running or just make it a bit more fun to go back through and play them.
I think that was my most frustrating week, though, because a lot of the time I would die right at the end of the level, and then I'd be like, great. Like, it didn't mind so much, but after about the 50th time of repeating stuff, I'm like, I just can't be arsed anymore. And then I did finish the levels, like, but some of them, it was just like, oh, right, I just got killed right at the end by the flag that I can't access, and that pissed me off. I think I said to Jenuall, like, in PM, I said, like, this was really frustrating. And I'm glad I put checkpoints in, because had I not put those checkpoints in, I think a lot of people would have just given up on my level, because you had to fight 2 fucking Bowsers. One, a giant one with a boomerang. You know?
Yeah.
I think people would have been a bit like, fuck this shit.
That's a good example where I thought, like, you say like maybe people shouldn't punish not matching the guidelines exactly, but then if you're trying to judge, like one of the things to judge in that level, I thought was the realization that because it's got no checkpoints, you need to make something that's shorter and easier to avoid that frustration.
Yeah.
So
No, I can get behind that.
It felt unfair to not to like ignore that was a factor when obviously other people had deliberately made shorter and easier levels because of it.
No, I didn't read the rules properly. That's why I didn't do it. Because I didn't know. It wasn't a conscious decision to put checkpoints in. I'm not saying that people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's a bit shit when you get punished by the players and the person who's running the because you're being punished twice, and I just think it's a little bit shit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but people are gonna vote.
People are
gonna
vote. Like I said, everyone votes on different criteria. My criteria was, did I have fun? Tick yes or no, and then put them in an order of which I had the most fun with. I didn't even care about the rules. It was simple. Did I enjoy this level as much as another level?
That was pretty much me as well. Did I enjoy it? Did I have fun? Did I complete it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I guess in one way it kind of helps level things out. If different people are sort of ranking that in their own way, then kind of you've got however many people are in the competition voting, then you're always going to get different viewpoints.
Oh, of course.
So,
of course. Like, I wouldn't criticize people for doing it. I'm just saying it's a bit of a shame when you get hit by two fucking penalties, like for one foul.
One of the things which I don't suspect we've ever actually had this happening, but I thought about this when I was playing, when I was a competitor in it last year, and also when running it this year, in terms of the people voting, other than the occasional kind of like guest votes that I'd get, where someone who wasn't making levels would play them and vote as well. For the most part, it's the people who are playing against each other who are ranking each other's levels, and you think like, well, is anyone going to try and game this and deliberately vote down someone who's beating them, even if their level was better and all that? But and I'm not saying I was like actively looking out for that in the votes, but I never got the impression that anyone was even thinking in that way. But it is kind of
good idea.
You could think actually, if we were in a competition, if we were in a, if you were doing this on like bloody Reset Era or something, you'd get a whole bunch of cunts voting and they tactically vote and shit like that.
Yeah. I can't remember whose level it was, but I remember thinking like I generally just didn't enjoy it as much as some of the others, and I was thinking I bet like that's going to be against consensus and loads of people are going to really like it, and I was like, I'm worried Jen's going to see this and think it's a tactical vote.
Yeah.
So then I made sure to write like my reasoning for the votes underneath, just because I was just like I wanted to know that this is legit and not me trying to.
Honestly, with every week, I think I put at the end of pretty much every week at the end of the thing that I say, fuck's sake, this was hard to vote. Stop doing this to me, kind of thing. Like, because I genuinely I enjoyed all the levels, so because I was enjoying them. How the hell do you vote? Like, so it was literally that one thing. Like, I enjoyed this one more, this one a little less, this one,
almost wanted more crap levels. Like,
so
it was obvious,
just to make it
you were worse this week, and there's no denying. But I think I said every time, like, now it's your turn to vote, and good luck, because I wouldn't want to pick between them because it was such a good set of levels.
The franchise homage round was just a nightmare for trying to rank, because I was like, well, everyone's done a different game and they're all like really cool versions of what they've done. And how the hell do you like they're different genres?
I did.
Yeah, I can. It's thinking about it. Yeah, like when people. Like, the guidelines weren't too strict, so people would come up with their own creative ways of interpreting it. And apart from once or twice, they were stuck to properly. But it then makes it more complex. Like, if you're basing it on certain criteria, then you're going to be like, oh, shit, great. This makes things really awkward now because I got to somehow do this magical fucking mind thing to work out what I like the most. Yeah, I know. That makes sense, really, did it?
I know what you kind of what you mean. Like I went in, like I said, consciously. The original. Oh, cheeky Devlin's raided.
Hello, Devlin.
The original intention I had was I want to keep things open, like because I knew we had. There was a lot of discussion before we started the competition about trying to encourage new people to get involved, and I had quite a few people PM me to say, I quite want to do it, but I'm not sure I'll be able to kind of do it every week, or I'll be able to be good enough to do it. And I was like, well, I deliberately don't want to make guidelines that are too restrictive or too imposing to try and encourage people. That's why before we started, I was like, right, well, I'll put out the guidelines for what round 1 is going to be, so people get an idea of what the sort of thing is. Which had the bonus that we got some incredible levels out of it, and we got so much variety. But it did make it really bloody hard to rank them. And particularly like you say, OR with the franchise homage round. I knew fromage round. I knew as soon as that went out, I was like, this is going to be a nightmare because people would do so many different things. But that was one I'd had in my head like the whole way through. I was like, I really want to do this because I just think there's some really clever ideas people can come up with, and that panned out because we got like my like I say, I don't. The competition's over now, so I can pick favourites. I do think Carl's Metroid level was one of my favourites for the whole thing. I just thought that was incredible. And you think if I hadn't kind of done a round like that, we might not have got some of those levels.
That wasn't that round.
No, it wasn't, was it? No, you're right. Bloody hell, that was the one that nearly scuppered.
Yeah.
That's the one that nearly scuppered that round. But yeah, I just thought I want to see what people can do if you kind of leave it a bit more open. We got things like your fish level and just really clever ideas that I think people wouldn't have necessarily tried to do, and like the Pokemon level, and just the idea of not being restrictive and just saying, right, go for it, just make something that you think is a good idea. It was a borderline freebie week, really, that one.
It was interesting as well because it wasn't like, I think, especially myself, I made a lot of levels that basically weren't Mario levels. And I think there's two camps of people who want Mario Maker to be about making Mario levels, and then which is fair enough. That's what it is, right? I think like Kix was a bit like that. Like he just likes making classic Mario levels.
The thing is with Kix,
whereas I just like making trying to do something. I enjoy trying to do things that you shouldn't think you can do with the editor. So.
Yeah, which is a great thing to see happen.
I remember we had complaining a lot about difficult levels. He used to complain people were doing difficult levels, and then I'm sure he just started doing making stuff and be like, oh, okay, I didn't realize how difficult it was. When other people played it, and I think that's one of the hardest things on Super Mario Maker, is to judge the difficulty of a level. Like with the very first level I did, I gauged the difficulty by having 4 of my children. I've only got 4 children. 4 of my children. My children play my level before I uploaded it, and they all finished it fine enough. So I was like, yeah, this will be fine.
Play testers.
Yeah, but then I didn't do with any other level, and I wish I had, because it would have been a good gauge. Because I think GRcade's average age mentally is about 8, and that's the age of my youngest.
It does show how important playtesters are in game design. Just the fact that when you're making a level, it just feels like no matter what you do, basically it feels easy because you've made the level, and you end up you don't realize how many times you've played it in building it and just practicing little bits.
To be fair, I was making a level years ago on Super Mario Maker 1. There was going to be a special level because I made Super Pedz World and I made loads of levels. And one of the levels I was making, I couldn't even finish it myself. I was like, I'm done.
That's a bad sign.
It was so much ice. It was intentionally I did worlds 1 to 4, and then 8 to 4, all the way 1, 2, 3, like all the way through. And Devlin streamed them all and played them all. And I thought, right, well, I'll do the special stages now, which were intentionally meant to be much more difficult. But I was in the middle of doing the first one because I couldn't finish. I just gave up on the idea. I'm just done. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good reason they put the clear check in there, so you can't just make some absolute troll level that's impossible to do. You have to at least prove the level is finishable.
Yeah. The problem you have is people will have it so there's a hidden fucking door somewhere and then just make this bullshit level.
Yeah. Well, so like talking of kicks, like his ghost level, where it's like I spent ages like
I remember
dicking around with I know, like often I did spend ages on levels, dicking around with a cape, like, oh, where the hell is this other coin? And eventually did some like fairly complicated jump to like zoom up into a box and in the sky kind of thing, when actually there was just a hidden block that I needed to find.
Yeah. To be fair, when I played the level, I noticed after you mentioned it on the forum that there's little stumps or something underneath each coin.
Well, I think Matt in the chat, someone in the chat was saying like mushrooms the whole time, and I was like, what the fuck are you on about? But yeah, it's because there were the little mushroom.
I'm surprised you read the chat at all, Jen.
Oh no, I don't. I try not to when I'm playing because you.
Do we shout at you how to do something?
None of you have got anything valuable to say.
All of us like, oh my god, Jenuall, we know what you need to do. Why are you so bad at this?
Yeah, you say that, but I finished all the levels, and now you fuckers are in here saying, "Oh, I really struggle with the levels." And,
I struggled with some of them difficulty-wise, but
all of them.
We finished them all. I finished every single level.
After you'd watched me.
No, sometimes I wasn't able to watch, so I wasn't there for every stream.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I didn't struggle to stand still during Carl's music level.
But
I didn't struggle to stand still for that.
Very poorly signposted.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
Jenny can't use doors, I agree.
Yeah, but I didn't need those doors. Where we're going, we don't need doors.
So
I was going to say
that quote is wrong.
Yeah,
that's the risk of streaming yourself playing the levels.
Yeah, but also, I mean, it is harder to play the level on. If I was any of those levels, I'd struggled with. I have no doubt that if I was just sat there on my own playing it, I would have, twigged the problem much quicker. When you're kind of streaming it and you're kind of, not really keeping an eye on chat, but you're half keeping an eye on chat, and you're thinking, well, I need to talk about this to a certain extent whilst I'm doing it. It does make it slightly harder to spot things.
It does make it more difficult to do
doors.
Things. Yeah, doors are hard to see anyway. But I completely agree. When you're concentrating on trying to chat, trying to read other chat, as well as play the game, it does make it more difficult. Generally speaking, like there's been plenty of times I've died in stuff that I've finished without problem off screen, It's just mad how it goes. One thing I wanted to ask, because Victor is still here, and he is the champion. He has a belt and everything in an image that he needs to put up. I'm just wondering, what was your favourite level? I was wondering, what was the favourite level you created? And what was if you can remember them, what was your favourite level of the other people's creations?
Favourite one I made was definitely my one-screen Zelda one, because, like I say, I started out thinking I was going to have to make a puzzle one, because I thought that's what a one-screen level. I thought that's all you were able to do. It's just one screen. What the hell are you going to do in that? And it's just through pure sort of trial and error. So I was like, right, can I make a complete dungeon within this? And I sort of played it over and over again. By the end of it, I was like, I'm really happy with that. I thought it was really good. And it's actually picked up a reasonable amount of plays outside of the competition, which none of my other stuff really has. My Mario Kart level was the worst one I did. I thought it was shit. I actually I made a complete level, and about a day before had a confidence crisis with it. It's like, this is crap. I need to make another one. So I took the same idea and made it into a battle thing. I still didn't think it was that great. There's too many ways you could break it, which Jenuall very kindly did.
The one you posted for that your original idea, you put it up. Yeah. I like the level you end up as well, but the original one was like thematically it made more sense because it was based on like the Chocolate Lake one, right? And like
Yeah.
the background looked like that.
And you
I was
you
like, why
raced,
didn't you stick with it? You should have
you
stuck with
raced
it.
you raced. I had each track had a different thing on it, and it either had a giant blue flying shell which caught up with you after 2 laps. But it took so long to get around because you can only have two speeds on the platforms. So it was either you sat there and it got once you had it sort of as you were switching lanes to then work. You had to hit switch and stuff, and switch lanes to eventually switch to the bit which let you get out the level. But it took like 5 minutes. I thought, if someone gets to 4 minutes and then falls off and dies or something, it's pretty boring. I just suddenly had a thing of like, oh, this is crap. I just panicked and
I don't know.
remade it.
Did you say if you still got that one saved?
I have.
You should upload it anyway, just
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah,
the
you should. It'd be fun to play.
Yeah. What was your favourite level that others created?
What one springs into my head first?
He didn't play anyone else's level.
I
Randomly ranked.
Thematically, I think the Pokemon one was my favourite just because it's so clever.
Mm.
As in, it just seemed to break out of the boundaries of being a level. It didn't feel like a level. It felt like you were moving around a world. It felt like there was more going on outside the boundaries of what was actually there.
Yeah.
And also, I really liked the 1-1, the static 1-1 level, purely because it's like I had no idea you could do anything like that. And that was when I think that's about halfway through the competition. But I was like, shit, I need to raise my game on this because I'm going to be out soon if we're doing stuff like this.
I'm glad for that. I think those were the 2 best levels that I made. And yeah, I was very glad that the one first place I managed to clinch was with the Pokemon one. So I was very
It's
very
not really
happy to get
surprising. That was a wonderful
Yeah.
level.
The hard work paid off there, definitely.
Yeah.
I was going to say that was one of the, like, Victor was saying there, times breaking the boundaries of what you think can be done in terms of. I was playing that, and it was the only time in the competition where I half forgot that I was playing a Mario game. It made my brain actually sort of disconnect from the fact that, oh, this is Mario. It's like, well, no, I'm just playing some other thing that isn't Mario. It's not really Pokemon either, but it's its own thing. It really did, because I think there was one
crappy
bit where
Pokemon. Yeah.
well, I forgot. Like, oh crap! That's a donut block. I need to stand on that to go through because my brain had just sort of detached and was not thinking in Mario terms anymore. I think that's how well it sold the idea that it was a different experience. So yeah, well done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was alright.
The other thing interesting thing on note from Victor, you're saying like you didn't know half the things you could do, but like it's kind of watching your levels as you went along. It was kind of like, I don't know, like Sylar from Heroes, if anyone knows that. Like every time you saw around, you then learn something from it, and then your next level would have something that you didn't know previously, but then learned from someone else's level. So like you're in the final, you had a 1-screen level in the final as well, and that one did have like tracks coming from off screen, dropping in the various power-ups as you went. So that was like really cool because you obviously learned more about Mario Maker a lot as you moved through.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely wouldn't have done that. I'd have just had an item just kind of moving around in a box or something. You had to break the box to get the item out. Whereas up until then, so now the tracks, things can leave the tracks and then land on another one and carry on. That's like on the Donkey Kong level. The Donkey Kong equivalent climbs up the top like quicker than you can get there, but it does climb to the top, then loops around on a little hook, and then lands on his little resting place where you go up and fight him. I would have had no idea you could use him in that way. So what I probably would have ended up doing is just having him in a box. You had to come and turn some switch blocks off.
Yeah, I was going to say, so in my final world submission for the final last year, I did a Donkey Kong rip-off as well. And I just had a boss in a box at the top. So yeah, you definitely improved upon my my version.
Sounds
Well,
like
you didn't
it,
like
to be
Donkey
fair.
Kong.
Yeah, I don't like. I've always maintained that I like Donkey Kong the arcade game. It's Donkey Kong Country I don't like.
Don't start.
I have to go now. I'm afraid.
All right,
I've got
Victor.
to
Dude,
go
thank
out.
you for taking part, man. It's been a
Thanks,
pleasure
everybody.
having you. Take care of yourself and catch
Cheers.
you very soon.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye. Good night,
Cheers.
dude. Good
Bye.
night. And with Victor gone, we should now say nasty things about him. Only joking. Let's see, Rula, what level was your favourite that you made and the favourite that you played?
Oh, favourite that I made. It'd probably be that pinball one.
Yeah.
I didn't get to do everything that I wanted with it. You know, I wanted to try and make it bigger, for one. But I just couldn't get it to work properly with that. As for favourite other creation, it would probably have to be OR's One Screen Wonder, because that was I don't know how that was done, but it was very well done.
It was great, yeah. I don't even know how you'd get the blocks to
pinball was
time
my
it right, like.
Oh, it was a nightmare. You just have to keep playing it over and over again, and then you'd see the block would be in the wrong place, and you'd just be like, oh, I need to just shift it forwards or back on the track, and then just keep replaying it until they're in the right spot. Oh, yeah. Just trial and error. I can't pretend I was like clever and worked out where to place blocks. It was just you just
Lot
keep
of
doing
hard
it over
work.
again to the right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was time consuming then if you had
Rula's-
to do that.
Rula's pinball level was my favorite. That was my favorite level you did, Rula. I've like several times tried to make a pinball level in Mario Maker, and it's surprisingly difficult because it's one of those ideas that feels like it shouldn't be too difficult, but then it really is. And then the way you did it, which was like you're the pinball, and it worked really well. So yeah, I think you're right to single that one out because it was very cool.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, that was a very, very good level. It was a nice idea. I think, like you said, you wanted to make it bigger, and I think there was scope to build on the idea. But at the same time, it's the sort of thing you really don't want to outstay its welcome. You could easily go overboard and make it worse by doing more.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, no, I can't really say anything different other than being said. It was a cool level, and I think it was alright, the size. I think it needed to be bigger. I don't know if making it bigger would have, as Jenuall said, made it become to a point of being outstaying its welcome. But then again, I think you'd have to go quite a bit bigger for it to become in any way tedious or anything. I think it was just, fine the way it was then. I don't think expanding upon it would have been necessary. I think, it was cool. Yeah, it was good the way it was. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
That came out as a bloody mess of words.
We
I don't
get
even know if
what
I got
you're
my
saying.
point
Yeah, it
across.
was understandable.
You liked it, is what
I
you're saying.
liked it, and I think
Yeah.
the size is perfectly adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Owa?
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, the favourite one I created had to be the Pokemon one. It was just like I spent ages on that. In fact, I was playing around making like a generic RPG level beforehand that I'd never joined the competition. I was like, maybe something will come up that I can fit in the theme for. And then the theme, I sometimes thought of doing it, and I was like, no, this theme's not good. I can't really make an RPG for this. I could, but it's gonna not really fit. And then the franchise one came up, and I started out making it was gonna be Earthbound was my original thing. And then I just switched to Pokemon, and it just worked so much better. But it was getting the battle system working that. I say working well enough that was the bit that made me convinced to switch to Pokemon, because I just couldn't get that looking good for ages. Because you've got. I was just going to say, you've got to not only make a contraption that works mechanically as a battle system, but then make one that works mechanically and also looks like a Pokemon battle. That was what I really struggled with for ages. So yeah, it ends up being like technically you can lose the battles, but you know you really shouldn't, because you just hit the block as soon as you can, and it's just like really easy. But the fact that it was technically failable was enough for me to be like, that's good enough.
Yeah, and I think that's the key thing, is it worked absolutely well enough to sell the idea. It's like, yeah, it's a Pokemon battle. I'm in a Pokemon battle in a Mario Maker level. Brilliant. It looked, you know, with the positioning of the, you know, and the sort of screen layout. It's like, yep, you've sold the idea to me. Great. It didn't need to be. You didn't need to make those like especially challenging. So it was good that it was kind of just, you know, it was easy. If anything, if it had been harder, it might, and you'd had to kind of, you died, you have to repeat it. It's like it sort of diminishes the idea. It's like it was I think it pitched perfectly to say, right, yeah, like I say, you've sold the idea of building a Pokemon battle into Mario. Now get out and move on to the next bit. I just think it worked really well.
Yeah, and it's Pokemon anyway, so it should be easy.
My first JRPG.
Yeah. The level I liked the most of the whole thing was Carl's Metroidvania. Like, that was fantastic. That just blew me away. The fact that he made a full-on actual Metroidvania, with the power-ups let you get back to, you backtracked through it to get through new gates that you couldn't get through before until you got the power-up, and there were like a chain of, was it 3 or even 4 power-ups that you got throughout the level. So it wasn't just like trivial, like, oh, you go through the level, get the fire flower, and then you can go back and do the other stuff. There was a full sequence of Metroid style things, and it being Metroid specifically worked as well, because that whole thing of like going through a hostile planet like that worked. It looked like you could believe it was, you're going down into caves and stuff like that. And also, like, I really enjoyed speedrunning that, and I couldn't break it. I was trying really hard to sequence break it to get a better speedrun time, and I just couldn't do it. Like, there's a few like things you could do to speed it up. Like, if you had the power up dispensers that you could unlock, so that if you got hurt, you'd have the power up unlocked, and you could ignore those, and that would save you some time. But I couldn't find any way of skipping any of the sections, and I was like, wow, that's impressive, right? You'd think it's hard to make a Metroidvania. It's harder to make a Metroidvania that you can't sequence break. So yes. That was really impressive.
Yeah, that was just a great level. It was just a great idea, and just like you say, how well he managed to capture kind of that Metroid feel within it, and like you say, it had all the elements. It had kind of, you know, unlocking new equipment to kind of expand your abilities, to then backtrack, and you go back to somewhere where you've noticed, oh, there's some ice blocks here, and then you come back later with the power up that lets you get through those ice blocks. It's like, it wasn't just, you know, 1 or 2 nods at Metroid style. It was actually, it was a small encapsulation of everything that a Metroidvania is, I guess. Yeah, and it's just another one of those that makes you forget that, oh yeah, you're playing a Mario game. It sold you on the idea very, very well.
Yeah, the only problem is it wasn't enough shooting and scanning.
Scanning, you only do scanning in Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I know. I'll say what my favourite levels were, simply because I want to see what the host enjoyed last. That's all. My favourite of my made levels is probably the last one I did. I like the mechanical aspect with the on-off switches to let the power up through in there, so that like you couldn't the boss wasn't like trivialized by, oh, here's a giant boss, but use an item every time you lose it. You have to like survive long enough.
Yeah, that was a really good way of doing the power up.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite level of the ones I did. See, the thing is I really can't pick between the Metroid level and the Pokemon level. But like, there's not much else I could say that hasn't been said. They were both fucking excellent levels. By far and away, the two top levels in the entire competition for me. And I played every week's levels. I don't think I voted 1 week because I played the levels and then on the day to vote, and then I didn't, and then I forgot to vote because I was cooking or something, and I was like, that's why I made sure to get my vote in early for the final. I didn't want to miss a vote again. Done. So my bad. But yeah, Jenuall, what about you? What was your favourite level that you played? Top 3, because you haven't got a level to talk about making, because your competition was last year and no one cares about that.
I was going to say, I just talk about all my great memories from last year. I mean, a lot of them have obviously already been mentioned. So Pokemon level was excellent. Pinball level, brilliant. Carl's Metroid was a fantastic level. I think trying to think of the ones that haven't been mentioned so far. Rubik's Green Hill level. Green Hill.
That
World.
was really cool. Yeah,
that was really cool. I liked. It was a very good recreation of the layout of Sonic Green Hill Zone Act 3. He did a really good job of kind of like matching that, and the idea of putting putting in Super Mario 3 style with the invincibility, so that when Mario jumps, he does a spin, so it kind of made you feel more like Sonic, and getting kind of a working loop into the level was excellent to kind of make it feel like a Sonic level, and the recreation of the Green Hill Zone boss using the chain chomp, the giant chain chomp sort of hanging down, that was excellent. That's one that hasn't been mentioned so far that I thought was really, really good. Cyborgs.
The spin jump on that was really.
Yeah, carry on.
I was just at the spin, it was so obvious when I saw it, but I would never have thought of it myself. The fact to put it in that thing and put the star just to make him do a spin jump like Sonic, and I was like, it's so obvious, but it just was actually really clever to do.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is as well that obviously, so he starts the level like that because then you are Sonic right from the start, but it ties in so well because the very first power-up in that level, which is right at the start in Sonic, is an invincibility. So it works. It kind of in both ways. It makes Mario feel like Sonic, and it still matches the level, which is what he was doing. That was excellent. And kind of another one was Cyborg's immersive sim level. Obviously, I'm going to like something that's a nod to the immersive sim genre. I liked how serene that level was. It's like there were enemies in it, but they didn't really bother you, and it was more just about exploration. It was a thief-inspired level, and it was like, okay, you've got to find as many coins, but just it managed to encompass a lot of the ideas of that game, which don't really feel like they should fit into Mario. So like finding, climbing on top of buildings to find an entrance into them, and kind of breaking in through windows. And obviously the standout idea of using the code in there, so the 0451 code, brilliant. Like I wouldn't have even have thought. It's just how to implement that in the just fantastic. And the fact that it was kind of the 0451 code, which is kind of a nod to that's regularly used in immersive sims as kind of like, the first key code you'll need is 0451. So even though he's got a room you can go into that tells you, the code is 0451. As soon as I saw that, I didn't see that room first. I saw the room where you input the code, but I knew, right, this will be 0451, and it was, and that I just got a massive smile when I kind of saw that work. That was excellent. And then probably for a third one that hasn't been mentioned yet, slightly more left field. I liked Carl's attempt to do a beat 'em up in Mario. his it's like Ultra Mario Brothers, Alpha Turbo, like that. It was weird, and it didn't quite work. But just the idea of you had the sort of character selection screen, and then kind of going into a battle with each of these guys. I just thought it was ambitious. It was a good attempt at trying to do something that really, we've had a lot of things that really didn't feel like they could or should work, and they really did. And this one, I think, almost worked. But I've got to admire the sort of ambition.
Yeah, I enjoyed the level. I remember playing it, and like I would do one and then another one, and then I would die eventually, and in the end I just went skip to the end and did the last one and finished the level. So I was like, it was you had to restart. See, the funny thing is, every level that has been mentioned really has been Mario Maker doing a different game or genre. It's not really, I love this Mario level because it was really good. It felt like a Nintendo made Mario level. I like this Mario game because it did something different, and I think that is one of the staples of this competition. Really, is the creativity that everyone put in. It was so diverse with the ideas and what people did. Like just the things that came from like the different game series stuff. The things that I wouldn't think you'd be able to do in the series.
Yeah.
In the game,
I mean, you had things like Victor doing, creating a Bomberman level, and it's like, well, that's just a really good idea, and you can think, oh yeah, now you've done it, I can see how obvious that is as a thing to do. But yeah, the level of creativity on display was just incredible throughout, and it's interesting. Yeah, the one of the standout things, like you say, is just how often people did something different, and in terms of different to each other, but also there weren't many traditional Mario levels in there. It wasn't like, I can see this fitting into a Mario game, or there were a few. It's like, this might have been a Star World bonus level at the end because it was quite tricky, or this might have been a bonus room or something. But we didn't really have that many straight Mario levels, which I thought was a testament to people's creativity, but also just really interesting. Particularly because, to take it back to last year for a brief second, I think
no one cares about last year.
Nobody cares. I'm going to keep talking unless you mute me. But I think my levels were predominantly traditional last year, and I think people I suspect that's one of the things that people liked about it. So it's interesting that this year's competition was kind of almost a rejection of that won last year. It was kind of like, no, we're going in a different direction now, which was impressive.
So
fresh.
I started this year's competition trying to make more deliberately traditional levels, because I went into it thinking that's probably why you managed to beat me in the end. Like, I did get through to the final last time, but I was like, well, you had more traditional levels at the end, and I was like, well, I thought I'll try and do that. And it worked well for the first round, because it was like a remix level of an existing level. Then I tried it for a couple, and then as I was, I was doing well, but I was like, I really want to get first place, and then I just fell back into making random things that weren't anything like anything else, and I think that actually worked in my favour. So maybe there was a change a little from last year, where
tastes change.
There's also different people in the competition this time as well to last time. I think like the returning players were lower, maybe. Like, I think there was more new people to it than last year. Like, I returned after the first one. I haven't been in it since then.
I mean, we did. So obviously,
Cyber.
We had Tom who dropped out, who would have been new to it. Rubik's was new to it. Victor was new to it. But I think otherwise everyone had been involved at some point in the past.
Rubik's was a Mario making machine as well. The number of levels turned up even after going out.
Yeah, he got the Mario Maker bug. And his bonus levels that he made towards the end were still excellent. It was really, and I was really grateful to have those still to play. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing him still create levels, even though he'd got knocked out, and he's like, yeah, like he said in the thread, I'm going to carry on making levels that follow the guidelines, and then he submitted them to you to play, not obviously for people to vote on them, and you did play them, and so did other people, and you know, it's nice to see that people have taken to the game again or got into it tidy. Like Victor was saying, I think before, that he didn't really play the game, but this was a way for him to play the game a bit more. And I think this kind of competition is a good way for people to play things that maybe they wouldn't play much otherwise. Because I think one thing you have is you're making levels and no one's really playing them, and it gets disheartening, like, you know, a little disappointing. It's like, oh, I've made this level, I spent 30 hours making it, it's one room and one person have played it, and it's kind of like, really?
That can be very disheartening. Being able to watch them played on stream, especially, like, knowing people are playing them in the competition is one thing, but actually being able to see your level on stream and then see someone else play it directly and see people reacting to it, that's like what makes it really fun, I think.
Yeah, and you see so many people going like, wow, this level is so cool, and I think that will then lend itself to people getting more enjoyment out of it because they're getting that instant feedback.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why. I mean, I said it when I put the thread up in the first place. It's like, I barely touched. I played the game when it first came out. I made a couple of levels. I played all the levels that came with it, and then I dropped it until the competition came up last year. I barely touched the game, and it's like I got so much more enjoyment out of the game from being involved in the competition that I wanted that to happen again. And I thought, well, Devlin is not likely to do another one. And so then I was thinking, well, kind of the only way to get a similar experience again is if someone else does it. And I thought, well, why the hell don't I do it then? And it was really kind of reassuring to see that people wanted to do it again, but also that we had people like Rubik's and Victor coming into it and saying, this got me back into the game, and I got so much more out of this game. It was really, it was just, it's a nice feeling to sort of hear that someone has had a similar experience to what I had before, and it's like, they not only enjoyed being part of the competition, but just like the fact anything that brings out your creativity. I think it's something you don't necessarily do otherwise, and it's like, So I was just heartened to see that other people kind of got that positive out of it.
I think
Did you feel like you were missing out?
Sorry.
I was going to say, did you feel like you're missing out on making levels yourself? Like, did you feel that? Did you wish you could have been joining in, or?
On the one hand, yes. I mean, because part of my enjoyment doing it last year was being creative and making the levels, but it did feel like, obviously it was enough. I got enough fun playing the levels, and streaming it is always it adds an extra dimension to it. And coming up with the guidelines was quite a nice creative outlet as well, and making the shitty little icons for them was a nice little creative thing to do. But I must admit there were times when I was like, I want to be making levels as well. And there were a couple of times where I got as far as half doing something. I was like, right, I'm going to actually do one this week. I never finished them, but. So but I will take kind of the experience of being involved as a host and the fact that it just giving other people the opportunity to be creative as a net win, even if it means I didn't get to be involved. Also, after about week 2, I was like, shit, all of these guys are now far better than I was. So I'm quite glad I'm not involved, because I do not think my standard from last year would have been anywhere near good enough to win this year. I think there was a massive upping of games. I mean, I was surprised when I won last year, but I definitely think I would have been screwed over this year. So on the one hand, it's not too big a shame that I wasn't creating levels. Are you going to be running the competition again next year, or is it something you want to sit and think on? it's probably in the sit and think on sort of camp at the moment. I mean, there's probably more than a 50-50 chance that I will do it again.
A 60-60 chance.
No, it's more likely than not that I think I'll do it again. But it's just a case of when and organising it around other kind of demands in life and all that kind of stuff. Because it's not that it's it's not like it takes hours of my life every week kind of thing. But well, I mean, it does take literally an hour of my week every Sunday. But yeah, it's I don't want to commit to doing it and then half-ass it kind of thing. Not that I'm saying I necessarily knocked it out of the park or anything this year. I thought I did enough to make it enjoyable, but if I'm going to do it again, I want to do it again properly. So I'm not going to say now, yeah, it's definitely happening again. And also, I don't want to deprive necessarily anyone else of the opportunity of saying, oh yeah, I'll give it a go.
I don't think anyone will.
What about a Christmas special? Because I thought that was a good idea.
I think I will definitely be trying to make that happen. Yeah, I can.
Or just a one-off.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, when we did the final on Sunday, and kind of, I said, I think this started in February, and it did. The thread went up in January to say, I'm going to do this again. Who wants to be involved? And I think it was early February when we did the first round. So it is quite a big commitment.
Long while, yeah.
Yeah, so you're talking months of time for it. So yeah, it's not. I don't want to just trivially say, yeah, we'll do another one next year. But we probably will.
I don't know if I'll take part because I only tend to take part on the first round, first go of each host. So when there's a new host in 5 years' time, then I'll do it for Mario Maker 3, if there is one. What about Game Building Bastard? When are you starting that?
No one's got the bloody game other than
I got it.
Rakoon.
Yeah.
Rakoon's the only one. He's won.
And I've
We
got
managed to
it.
download it. It was allowed to download it. Yeah.
I got
Have
it.
you got it,
I
Pedz?
pre-ordered it. I pre-downloaded it. Before...
check you out. I've got the demo. I've got the demo. That's as far as I've got.
Honestly, I don't know if I would jump in. Yeah, downloads work now. I don't know if I would jump in for that because it seems like so much more complex than Mario Maker. I think that you'd want to give it a year of people practicing on the thing first.
Yeah, and also it's hard to know.
Yeah, guidelines would be awkward. Guidelines would be hella awkward. I can't believe I just said hella.
I was trying to think of ways you could run a competition like that, similar to Mario Maker, but in Game Builder Garage. And I was thinking, like, as a host, if you could even, like, because you can share levels and then edit levels that other people have uploaded, as a host, you could make the, like, basics of the game. So you could have pre-made, say, that here's a level, you've got a character, they're already rigged up that they can move around, there's already a working camera, there's already a goal post at the end. All I want you to do is, make it's set up as a Super Mario 3D World style level. All you need to do is make the level between the start and the finish. And then the next week you could do the same thing and say, I've already made a racing game set up here. Like, the car already works, there's all the logic's already there. All you need to do is, make a track or something like that. And
that'd be interesting the way you're going about it, actually. Yeah,
people could do it more. People could put in more complex stuff and change stuff if they wanted, but it would bring down the like barrier of entry, and rather than saying, I want you to make this level, you've got a blank slate, and that can be pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I think that will be the struggle with that. Like you said, Pedz, it is so much more complex. The barrier to getting into it would be hard. I think you'd need to do something like that to get enough people willing to commit.
That unfortunately doesn't seem to have picked up as well. Like, I remember people going, when it was announced, people were like, oh, at first I was like, but when I saw more of the trailer, I thought, yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna get it. I think me and you have got it.
Yeah.
It seemed to drop out of nowhere though. It just didn't get promoted at all by Nintendo.
No, I think that was a bad decision by Nintendo there.
Yeah, it did come out of nowhere. And also I think it's slightly... timing-wise, I think, certainly for me, I've already bought like a couple of games this month, and so it's kind of gone on to my sort of back burner.
By your next month list.
Yeah, I want to get this, but it wasn't. It came out at the wrong time to make it an impulse purchase. Although it's not a full price game, is it? It's like,
no, it's like 25, 27, something like that.
25 quid.
Yeah, so it is easier to jump into it, kind of thing. But yeah, I think hopefully more people will pick it up. But yeah, because you can't really get a competition going if you haven't got enough people.
Well, it'll just be me and OR battling it out. OR will win every week.
Well, the problem is, Pedz, one of us has to be the host, so
right, yeah.
the other one will definitely win.
Honestly, from what I've only done the first tutorial on it, the first full tutorial where you make a game of tag, as they call it on the game. As I said before, I call it touch around this area. You don't need to make a thread asking about what everyone calls it, like you did with Knock Knock Ginger. But
that was a good thread. That was.
It was a good thread. Everyone's like, "What the fuck are you calling it that for?" And it's like, well, like if you know,
one was like, we called it. What was it? Something Jenuall.
Oh yeah. Well, I was open about it. All options went in the poll. So
yeah, it was.
I was surprised that didn't win that option.
Yeah.
I put down what it was actually called around these parts.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a dick.
I didn't want to joke.
Regional differences.
Couldn't joke about it because it was too serious. I had to tell everyone why they were wrong.
Exactly, it was serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah, you barely makes a point. Would also help build people's confidence for potentially trying their hand at games built from the ground up. So I guess that's true, because if they've already got a starting point, then they could look how it goes and then work things out for themselves. Also, if they're making things just building upon something, then maybe they can,
yeah. I think one of the hard
less each time.
I was going to say, one of the hard things to gauge is with Mario, you get given a theme, and even if you end up, you didn't have much time that week or that fortnight or whatever, and you think, you can knock together something that works in Mario fairly easy. I've obviously not played Game Builder Garage yet, and it's kind of how it's gauging how much difficulty is there in terms of, because you don't want people to get a few weeks into this competition and think this is just too hard and it takes too much effort. You need to be able to gauge it right so that people can still submit something even if it isn't their best work, kind of thing. If it's too hard to put something together, then that's too much of a barrier, I think. So yeah, it's getting that right balance between.
Yeah, I think Awad's idea is actually a good one, where you have a basic bit of setup done, so you can then finish it off. And it also means as you progress through the stages, you could do a little less. Maybe the host could, to let people do more. To if they wanted to. And as Owa said, people could change things and experiment as much as they wanted. Just they've got something there if they need it.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen of it, it's like it's more complex than Mario Maker. It's not as complicated as something like Dreams or Game Maker.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We'll see. Maybe we can get enough people.
We'll see if anyone else actually gets the game. Yeah.
Step one.
Well, for 25 quid, I think you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
yeah, and it's got a demo. I think people should just try the demo because, I think it's obviously you can't create whatever you want in a demo because it's just the first lesson. But it is pretty much, what the game is once you've played that, and if you're going to commit to following through these lessons, because that's sort of the main barrier to it, is if you can't just jump in and start making stuff like you can in Mario. You need to go through the tutorials to learn how it works. But if you're willing to do that, then you can probably judge that well enough from the demo. Then you'll know well enough whether you want to get the game.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
So when you're doing Game Builder Bastard then, Jenuall?
TBD.
Fair enough. At least there's confirmation that he's going to do it. Just
Yeah, that is
no
not
idea
in
when.
any way confirmation.
Wow, he's confirmed he's doing that, and he's confirmed he's doing a new Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
and a Christmas special.
You know, that's the only confirmation is a Christmas special.
No. You said there's a 60-60 chance.
Yeah, I'll do another Mario Maker as a PS5 exclusive.
Okay. I got a PS5.
I believe in generations. So.
You could do a Dreams one.
Ugh.
Game Maker Master. There you go. One thing I would like to see is the original host take part in the competition as a creator, as a level maker. It would be nice to see Devlin. Like if you do it again now next year, say Devlin would cool for Devlin to sign up to make levels.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you might have to do it in Mario Maker 1 to get Devlin to be interested.
I mean, he ceremoniously
wrong with the sequel.
uninstalled it at the end of last year's competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I missed the final. I think I watched most weeks, and then I think I missed the final. Typical.
Yeah, he did. He like literally closed the game down, back to the menu, uninstall. He's like, that is the last time I'm playing this. So I think I would be surprised.
I don't think I helped convince him with my level that took him an hour. I think that was the final straw. He was just like, fuck you, I'm Rakoon, and he's uninstalling.
I think we'd all slowly pissed him off throughout the contest. But
I think that is
he
one
was still an
thing.
excellent host.
Yeah. No, Devlin's great, but I think Devlin did seem to get a lot more difficult levels than you had.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know whether people consciously did that as a response to what happened last time, or even as a response to my meager skills. They thought, oh shit, we better give this guy some fucking easy levels. But yeah, I was grateful that there weren't too many challenging ones. But yeah, and I guess whether people subconsciously thought, oh shit, if we want this thing to ever happen again, we better not torture the host so much.
Yeah, maybe that is what they were thinking. Subconsciously, that's what it was. Everyone in the back of their mind, there was something saying, make it easy for the crap one.
It's like, yeah, remember, this is not cheeky anymore. I can't make it hard.
You didn't get enough Cooper cars. I was disappointed in that. But
I did. I mean,
I think you should have gone.
I've held back the Cooper car round for the future, so maybe that'll be Christmas Cooper cars.
Santa delivering presents in his Cooper car.
Absolutely.
Santa's little helper, and not the dog, as in Mario, Santa's little helper, and he's using his little Cooper car to, deliver presents. Or you could pretend he's Wario and he's going around stealing people's presents, and that would be the coins. He's the Grinch.
Yeah.
The Mario that stole Coinmas.
There's your level. Got your level idea sorted already, Pedz.
I was going to say, stop talking. You're giving it away.
I'll forget by then.
That was also another one of my my themes or guidelines that ended up not being used was do a Wario level where it's about obtaining wealth. More, it's not about finishing the level. It's just collecting coins and just generally trying to make it feel like a Wario level. That was ended up on the scrap heap. That suggestion.
It'd be difficult with to do with Mario, wouldn't it? Because Wario is pretty much invincible. He smashes stuff by just walking into it.
Yeah.
He's extremely greedy. And I don't mean like he eats all our food. I mean he just cares about money.
He's pretty fat though, so he probably does eat a lot of food.
Yeah. He's also got Herculean strength, according to the Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I love that game.
It's a great game.
It is. It's just the shocking thing about that game. I know we're going on a little bit of a tangent, but we'll end after this if you want, guys. Is is the difficulty increase on Wario's level, the Wario's castle, compared to any other level.
Yeah.
It's like you can finish all the other levels without losing hardly any lives at all, and then you'll go on to the Wario's castle, and all of a sudden you're at 1 life after having like 60. It's like, where did it go?
Oh dear.
Bloody Wario. And the thing is I played Mario Land 3, Wario Land. And like not long after playing Super Mario Land 2, in recent years, and like one of the houses you get given looks like the castle from in Super Mario Land 2. If you got enough coins at the end, I had enough coins for a birdhouse off the genie, which is the worst thing you can get.
Yeah, I like that is that you get to the end of the game. The whole point is he just wants the biggest castle. He wants a better castle than Mario's. And so the end game isn't about rescuing someone, or it's literally here's how good of a house / castle you can get at the end.
I think the very best one is like something on the moon.
Yeah,
like
it is. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Great sense of achievement when getting that back in the day.
Yeah, well, I got a birdhouse, so.
And that's why you came 7th every week.
I didn't come 7th every week. I came 8th once as well.
I was going to say, I was trying to gloss over the week where you came 8th.
Damn. Jen, are you going to play Wario Land on the Wii now you've found out it's a real game that exists?
If I still had my Wii, I would.
A Wii U?
I could go down the emulation route. Not that any of us would condone such a thing.
God forbid.
No, never touch the stuff. But yeah, no, I genuinely, I ditched the Wii like far too early in its life cycle. I think, well, actually, I did. I donated it to like some friends' kids who really wanted one. And the last game I played on the Wii was
donated it for 500 quid.
Yeah, it's like, give me some money, kids. No, I owned it for less than a year. I got it just as Super Mario Galaxy came out. I played Mario Galaxy, and that's amazing. And then I gave the damn thing away. So yeah, that was a mistake.
We'll get it back.
Do you like it?
Kids,
like
give me back my
more
Wii.
Or less than the PS4.
The irony is now is I'm literally playing all my PS4 games on PS5 and realizing, oh no, they are really good. It's just
the PS4 that's crap.
The interface between me and the PS4, i.e. my shitty broken DualShock controller, ruined the whole thing for me. So yeah, that I've still got it. I've still got the PS4. I didn't even like trade it in to get the PS5.
Why?
Why have I still got it?
Why didn't you just trade it in?
Well, because I bought... Well, because the PS5 was obviously a massive, oh shit, it's in stock impulse purchase. I had no intention of buying it, so it's just bought off Amazon, so you can't really trade it in there. And
yeah, you could have. They were accepting like 125 quid for a PlayStation 4.
Wow.
Something like that.
Either way.
More than other shops,
no,
like...
But no, I've kept it now because the kids can play on that whilst I play.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Ha! Look, I'm playing on PlayStation 5. You got the crappy PS4.
Exactly.
Enjoy your stick drift.
Yeah. Perfect.
Dad, why is my character just running into a wall when I'm not touching anything?
Good, that's what I got to say.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jenuall, you're a mean father.
Well, they've got to learn. It's a hard world, and it's only getting worse for when they grow up. So.
Oh yeah, Jesus. Dread. Like my oldest is 14. I'm like, it's not long till he'd be like working, moving out, and all that stuff. And I'm like, the world is going to shit. He's gonna struggle. Everyone's gonna be struggling a lot more. And I blame right people. As in politically right.
the people who are wrong.
Yeah, the right and wrong people. And yeah, Ubellion is right. You missed out on Super Mario Galaxy 2, and it was a big mistake.
Yeah. No, I know.
I've not played Galaxy 2.
Big mistake.
The whole time, so.
But fortunately, Nintendo did the great thing, and they released it as part of the. Oh no, wait, they didn't.
DLC, and you could only get it for a week.
So you know, I generally try and keep hold of consoles. I've still got quite a lot of old stuff. But yeah, the Wii is an aberration. I don't know why I didn't keep hold of that. I've still got a nunchuck somewhere. But I obviously forgot to give that to the people I gave it to.
Stand there looking at the TV, swinging
it around. Yeah.
Yeah, just like, see, I'm controlling the stuff on the TV.
Yeah.
So you gave them the Wii for free, but then you were like, the nunchucks are 200 quid.
I was going to say, yeah, that's part of the the DLC pack that you need to buy.
You can have the nunchuck for £200 or £300 with the Wii remote as a season pass.
Yeah, I gave them two Wii remotes, at least one nunchuck they must have had off me. They did pretty well, and all of the games I had, which I had more than I can't remember what I had on it now. I had Mario Galaxy,
Mario Kart, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Sudoku.
I'm pretty sure I didn't have any other Mario games. I had. What else did I have? I can't even remember. It's literally because I had it for such a short space of time. No.
Melodies, Elabits.
No.
We're going to be here a while if you're listening.
We could be here a while, yeah.
Metroid Prime Corruption?
No. I played that on someone else's Wii.
Zack and Wiki?
I didn't even get Zelda. I didn't get either. 2 Zelda games came out on the Wii. I didn't get either of them.
You disgusting.
I played Ocarina of Time on the Virtual Console.
Oh well, that's okay then. I do like Link to the Past 3D. It's good.
Yeah. Well, so that's my history with the Wii. So no, I can't play WarioWare Shake Dimension or whatever it's called.
Boom Blocks, Dead Space Extraction, Carnival Games.
Anyway.
Carnival Games is his
listing
favourite game.
games. I did have the
House of the Dead Overkill.
What was the game you could buy that came with a Wii remote?
We Play.
I had that.
Yeah.
Wii Sports? What do you think of Wii Sports? Do you like whacking it about?
Wii Sports, well, who doesn't? Who doesn't like whacking it about? I liked Wii Sports. Wii Tennis I remember enjoying.
Yeah, I like Wii Tennis and Wii Bowling the most, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, bowling's the best, I think.
Yeah. Golf,
Yeah.
the
Throwing
golf
it back
was
at the crowd.
alright. Like it was literally bought as like a it was the cliche of it's the party console that people get and they play it when they have people around and it never does anything else. And broadly, that is the only use I got out of it, other than Mario Galaxy, which is obviously incredibly good.
It is. Only they re-released the second one if they've released the first. Don't normally buy re-releases, but I think the fear of missing out actually had me with that one because it was for a limited time only. And normally I'm like, Deadly Creatures, man, looked pretty interesting. I wish I'd got that. My friend got her. You could play as a spider or a scorp onion. That's a good game. Yeah, it looks like a good game. But I think we should end the year now as we've been live for 3 hours.
Short one.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
You should badge this as a mini, as a Twitchcast mini.
No, because then people might expect like 6-hour podcasts, and I don't mind doing it. I got plenty of time on my hands in the evenings, but I don't think other people will be happy. Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings, Mushroom Men, Gingerbread Man. No, Ninja Bread Man.
No.
Gingerbread Man was meant to be Zool 3 originally, and I think I saw a video by maybe Guru Larry. Yeah. I think it was Guru Larry or someone who showed it was released like 4 or 5
Probably.
times on different consoles with just different skins. There was like one where you'd play as a doll or a girl or something, and it was all like pink and stuff instead of being the Ninja Bread Man and stuff. Shocking.
The world does not need another Zool game.
Oh, it's crap, innit?
Yeah.
I think
Christ.
if you a full 3D reboot, Souls-like.
No!
The thing is, though, yeah, we get like, you know, we got how many shitty, like, what's it, Bubsy the Bobcat games have we got? Like, you know, lots of other 2D platformers have had more life, undeserved life than Zool's had.
It's all up
Zool's
to Chopper
crap,
Chops,
though.
though, I think. It's,
Chopper
they
Chops,
don't-
yeah.
Zool had 2
they
games
don't
at least.
sponsor it. Then.
Yeah.
Did you have Project Hammer? What about what was it?
I'm trying to look now online at a list of Wii games.
Day of
Aren't we still waiting
Crisis,
for Project
Destruction,
Hammer
Day of
to come out?
Crisis. How it was called? Something like
Oh, I
that.
had Lego Star Wars on it.
Oh, yay!
There we go.
Not played it. Lego Star was good.
Top stuff.
I thought you were going to say Top Spin then.
Top Spin. I think I saw that they were releasing a Donkey Kong game for it, and that's why I had to get rid of it.
You suck.
Should we end on
Jenuall,
that
you
note?
regularly show on the forum your opinions are more often than not wrong. Excite Truck was good. I like that. I never played Excite Box.
Excitebox never came to the UK.
Explains why I never
which is
played it.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I forgot that. Or didn't realise what I do. Anyway, we were going to leave, weren't we, as it's been 3 hours and 6 minutes. We're going to wrap up here now then. And, yeah, call it a night, guys. Because of the time.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right, that was episode 40-something of the GRcade podcast. It's 40-something because I don't, with E3 stuff, I don't give them a number. I just say like, oh yeah, PlayStation conference.
Call it 43. There you go.
I think it might be 42, but 43 is very close.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So, for those who are in chat and for those who are listening, thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure, as in people listening afterwards. We've had a good time. I've had a good time anyway. I can't speak for anyone else.
It's been good. It's been good.
It's been a time.
It's been a time.
Oh,
Well, so at least it's not bad. So yeah.
One final note. That Sonic concert that I was listening to while this was going on, absolute brilliant.
Well, I will catch it on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
That's what we could have been listening to instead of this.
Yeah, but no.
I was doing half and half.
Yeah. Instead of sitting here listing Wii games.
I was doing half and half.
I think you made a smart choice there, Rula.
Yeah, I don't know how much was actually picking up on the microphone because it was getting loud at some point.
No, it was fine.
No, it's fine. I don't know if it did. Anyway, we're gonna raid Cricken because he is currently playing Resident Evil 5 with Ale, both who are from GRcade. And in saying that, please follow at GRcade on Twitter. Facebook is GRcade video for YouTube, and don't forget to check out grcade.co.uk. Myself, well, everyone who's on the podcast is from the forum every time, and yeah, I would like to thank Owa, Victor, Jenuall, and Dark Rula for taking part tonight. It's been great having you all, guys.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
me.
us.
Yeah, it's been great.
Definitely.
And I'm glad
Yeah,
you
it's
enjoyed yourselves. But we will now end. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.